Started off with a bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1. Hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream. Now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink. I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Car era lore. Call me Levi playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one. I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to get them all. Are you with that? In a white boat, surrounded by blue. I want one, but I got a cop too. I wanna fly high in the sky, arms out wide, trying to soar from a bird's eye view. I'm on fire, Ricky, Bobby, cracking the pavement, Whitney, Bobby. I'm a Saki bomb, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Bruce Wayne been a dog, and I keep it 101, cause I'm feeling kinda spotty. You sipping on some rock, and I'm sipping on octane. The only thing around my neck is the blockchain.
Now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1. Hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream. Now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
NFT, Twitter, blockchain. Seeing with the ghosts and we ballin' like LeBron James. Crypto. We can make a trade, get the memo. Refuse not falling for the FOMO. Listening to coffee with Captain. You know we worldwide, they loco. I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum NFTs. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I gotta shout out
Started
the
off with a
party.
bit, now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been poppin' since Web 1. Hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream. Now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Breaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, miny, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. I had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the ride with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
GM, welcome to Coffee with Captain. I'm Cap. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Hope you all had a great night, great Tuesday, and a great start to your Wednesday. We are live on X Audio, X Video, as well as YouTube and Abstract. All those links are pinned up top, or at least will be here in a second. And not quite yet the perfect show, but we will keep showing up every day at 8 o'clock in the morning and give our best effort to do so. Exciting day today. We got a lot happening once again. If you doubted we are back, or I'm going to start. If you've doubted it is NFT season 3, I don't know what to tell you. I think there is now empirical, is that the word? Evidence that we are in fact experiencing at least the beginnings, like episode 1 of NFT season 3. And I am here for it. We're getting further proof of priors would be the ACK, yes, Alpha Centurion Kid, ACK, one of the more notable crypto artists, published in, I'm pretty sure, Sotheby's, Christie's, and more, has a big first PFP collection today. Going live. Let me pull up the time. Well, we'll dive into all the details on that here in a bit, as well as a few other mints today. But yeah, ACK's big news. 9 a.m. Eastern. Holy moly. Contract is deployed. I didn't realize we're going to have a live mint here on the show today. We got an OpenSea link. And yeah, we will. What is going on? Oh, it is not happening. Interesting. So they minted the batch last night. The rest will appear. Okay, so we have the OpenSea collection, but that's the team batch. And the mint is not happening on OpenSea. They will have a mint link. ACK will be deploying a mint link here soon. It looks like there is 624 in the team wallet, And we will get into all the details here in a bit and get everyone prepped. But we will do that right after cold open and maybe daily market update, because it looks like it's going live at 9 a.m. I thought I saw a different time, but it's a $300 mint, whatever that translates to. And I am going to be attempting to mint here. I think the max mint per wallet is 10, but you can get whoever put this out in the universe. I'm upset with, not ACK. I'm upset with whoever put in the universe that these look like crypto undeads, just more pixelated. And I'm not saying that's spoiling it for me, but F you for putting that thought in my head, because now I can't not see it. I'm not comparing the dev of crypto undeads to ACK. They are very, very, very different. But I'd go for the white hoodie here with the 3D glasses. It's got a wood pipe, prehistoric bones, ivory cloak. Yeah, the ivory cloak is that's a banger. Print unclaimed. You do get a physical print with these, and yeah, I want the ivory hoodie, the ivory cloak. I would buy this merch. There is a WETH offer. I don't think they're going to be accepting any of these offers because it's the team wallet, but more on this soon. And yeah, we'll get right into it here in a bit. Also, time sensitive this morning is, sorry, I'm going in reverse order. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We do go live every Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern time, often open with more of a cold open nonsense, and then do a daily market update, talk about trending topics, news of the day. And then often, like yesterday, we're fortunate to be joined with leaders of the space and get some special interviews. The Klano and Hibu team joined us yesterday to talk about their pre-sale. I just checked in on that, and the time sensitive portion, if you want, the pre-sale is open for another day. Well, a day and 52 minutes to be exact. But there's a bonus. There's a day one bonus, a 25% multiplier. So if this is something, no pressure, never any obligations to do any of this stuff. But if you are planning to participate, you've got 52 minutes to qualify for that deposit bonus. So after 9 a.m. Eastern, it's just you get what you get. You get what you put in. You get your allocation pro rata to what you put in. But that 25% kicker, that expires in 51 minutes and 52 seconds. $620,000 already raised within the first 23 hours and 10 minutes. Pretty impressive. That would put, if there not another dollar went in, that would put the implied FDV at about 12 million at TGE. I don't know. I would expect this at this point. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting. I expect we'll probably see a lot here in the final 50 minutes of this bonus. Those that have been just procrastinating or haven't entered it for whatever reason, those have been paying attention will probably get in the next hour. And then I think, depending on what this FDV looks like, I guess, so I'm doing back of the envelope math here. Let's say it doubles and there's 1.2 million raised. That put the implied FDV at 25 million. I could see it opening higher than that. I don't know, but the team has big plans for this protocol, as we talked about yesterday. If you missed it, you can go back and catch that recording. But yeah, I would, I would say this: if the FDV stays below 20 million, I think you'll see people ape into this tomorrow. So theoretically, yeah, I think it looks like they're on their way to raise 7 figures with this presale. And also as a depositor, for those that are in, less is more. If anyone who's in already, well, I want to see success for the team. If not another dollar comes in, which clearly it's happening. You can see it here in real time. If not another dollar comes in, then I think the depositors, if you're getting tokens at a 12.5 million FDV, I think you're probably going to be pretty happy, would be my guess. But who knows? Markets are going to market, and don't know. But again, not final warning, but 49-minute warning. If you want to get that 25% bonus, you got to get in before 9 o'clock this morning. I guess cold open, maybe we dive into it later, but I am down bad because I've had this tab open for no joke, this exact tab, not that I keep going back to the website, I've had this net tab open for about a week, I feel. And I've been watching it, this net price from below $500 to continue to climb. And I don't know, no excuses. Unit price, that's my excuse. I think I did talk about it on the show because I shared, it's like some games you can play a coin flip where it's like a gamified gotcha, but instead of getting collectibles or whatever, you're earning stock. The games, there's different mini games. So there's a flight simulator where you win Microsoft stock. There's a coin flip, you earn Coinbase stock. There's a Space Invaders where you earn SpaceX stock. Pretty clever. Does it sustain? Who knows? But there's more to it than just that. That's just the TLDR, and price for a single net token is now $1,300. I've been watching it since 500. And in my brain, I think unit price does matter. And if I had logged in and saw, and I know I can buy, I'm not an idiot. Well, I don't know. I guess it's subject to, kind of like art subjective, I guess, on some scales. On some people's intelligence, I probably am considered an idiot. But I do understand that I can buy a fraction of one of these nets. I don't have to drop $1,300 for a whole one. I could buy, I can spend $130 and get 0.1. I get that. But I think unit price does matter. Psychologically, it matters. Had I logged in and saw it was like 50 cents net, I would have probably thrown $100 at it. But because it was like, I can't even get a full one for $100, I wouldn't. I do it. Like in my head, I'm debating, would I buy a new NFT that's unknown and is attempting to capitalize on this current stock meta? If it was a $500 NFT, probably not. So I'm like, I think partially because I think there's going to be a lot more, and I don't know. Shame on me, my miss. So I hope someone else. I can't remember. I think yesterday we even looked at it here on the show. I think it was about $500. So I hope some of you got in and got it. Oh, the dev is the guy from Top Shot. Which guy? Do you know, Mayhem? Apparently, the dev behind NetNet is from Top Shot. Interesting. Gigi's on Crocs called this a month ago. Shout out Crocs, who will listen to the recording later today when he gets up. West Coast guy. I'm not giving a hard time for sleeping in. Also, this is, I think, what probably sent the price recently is Ansem started showing it as well. He says net thesis. He shared this one's $1,000, $57 million FDV, 6 million circulating, 4 million treasury of USDG and RWAs. Novel DeFi mechanism on Robinhood. And this is like, yes, it's novel, but I think at the core of this, everything we're seeing that's novel, not everything, a lot of it does. And I'm not saying net's a stockbroker's derivative. It's definitely different. But a lot of it's going back to how can we tap into this meme cycle on Robinhood chain. Ansem goes on, I'm quoting him here, says, believe this is one of the most interesting spots on Robinhood chain. Been saying this. My thesis for this cycle is MemeFi, combination of gamification and interesting on-chain financial mechanisms. On top of this is clearly what that with RWAs baked in. 2021 DeFi cycle, crypto had a lot of interesting on-chain experiments. I agree. Didn't have as many as last cycle. Also agree. In fact, like I struggled to even come up with an experiment for last cycle, unless you want to call like meme launch pads and perp dexes experiments. I guess they were novel, but then everything after Hyperliquid was like almost a Hyperliquid fork. Everything after every launch pad after Pump Fund has been essentially a Pump Fund fork. So hat tip to Pump Fund and Hyperliquid, not taking anything away from what they did, but very different, in my opinion, from last NFT and DeFi cycle was I felt future iterations or future experimentations after Top Shot, after Zed, after Apes, everything was different. Like, did they tap into the NFT IP? Yeah, but with their own twist. We didn't see much of their own twist last cycle. It's like, oh, perpdex and launch pads can make a lot of revenue in crypto. Let's launch our version on this chain. Let's launch our version on that chain. And I'm not blaming chains either, but up until Robinhood chain, I've been pretty disappointed, let down with Monad, with Mega ETH. I'm not even group abstract into that as they were there prior, but back very bullish on the experimentation and seeing new stuff. And even though they are their own twist on, the tokenized stocks as stockbrokers made popular, I do appreciate the seemingly added experimentation. Do it will be in beta for 14 years. Oh, Top Shot jokes. That's funny. Brick it all. Took me a minute, but I get you. All right, I'm just going to get into it because I do want to talk about all the exciting stuff. And I alluded to a dash of cayenne in my coffee, which you might all be saved because I left my coffee in the kitchen before I started the show. So I'm going to have to go break for a second to grab that. But, and I see Cab out there. Cab, I promise, not that I'm required to do this or you're expecting this, not that why you're popping in, but just FYI, I was giving you all some love. I had the Hebrew site pulled up here a bit ago. For those that just tuned in late, again, you've got a 43-minute warning to get in the day one where you get the 25% bonus. No pressure, no obligations. This isn't a shill. I mean, I guess it is, but I'm sharing because I care. It's going to be the theme of the day. And so if you were planning to get in, I'm looking out for you. Get in the next 43 minutes. Get your 25% bonus. 600,000 already raised, 633,000 to be exact, and puts the implied FTV at 12.68 million. Love to see it, and I think expect this to go into the 7-figure category based on the start. GG's on the launch, and we will continue to keep eyes on that. I also see Steve out there who picked up a nice stockbroker yesterday. He's clocked in this morning. Congratulations. Looks like a good hit. If I can read the blockchain correctly, or I don't even need to read the blockchain now because OpenSea serves it all up to me on a nice platter. But looks like a nice, he's already realized a little over ETH in equity, had a ETH bid hit and floor back up to 5.25 this morning. My apologies. Strongly disagree about last cycle. Approachable and better UIX on DeFi and LPs paved the way for stockbrokers in this cycle's innovation. Which cycle are we talking about? Where I was saying like we're agreeing with Ansem is I was referring to last cycle as like the meme cycle, not 21. I do think we saw a lot of innovation in 2021, but just to be clear, when I'm referencing last cycle, I was referencing like the meme mania and perp decks, memes and perps basically, and kind of was boring, like wasn't seeing much new stuff. And now I think we're seeing new stuff, new creative stuff, new experimentation, certainly weekly, if not daily. But yeah, I'm curious what you think was. Because like the UI UX on DeFi, I mean, Uniswap's made some advancements, but the UI UX on DeFi hasn't really, I don't think it's changed much since 2021. I mean, I know, Uniswap's went from V1 to now V4, but the UI UX is about the same, unless I'm misunderstanding. I would be curious. He's going to come up and share. Am I misunderstanding, Steve?
Or even Meteora, which like takes a little bit of like initial sort of like understanding. I think at least a lot of these became, at the very least, more ubiquitous and more options, and certainly more user friendly and certainly more community based. Even Project X, you want to talk about and call it small, but they had a strong community that was actually pushing that forward, which then was educating people and getting them moving in the right direction. So my thing would be like, what is it? Is it as, like complex as this or what happened in 2021? Not necessarily, but I think the step of getting DeFi more approachable for people. I wasn't using DeFi before last cycle, and I started using it, and I think a lot of other people did as well. And I think without that, Simple Farmer being even hired by 8chain to work on DeFi and sort of move that along, like I think there is some steps that happened which led us to where we are now. And I don't think we have the complex build of stockbrokers, because I'll be honest, a lot of the people I see in stockbrokers, actually, I know from the Project X community who are in there. I know it's a lot of people from 8chain as well, but I would just say, like, not saying like it was this like massive innovation step forward. It's, not necessarily like, like I wasn't going to write a book about DeFi last cycle the same way I was in 2021 when I did that. But I do think that, I think that happened. And the last thing I'll say, and like I know it hasn't landed the plane, but I do think InfoFi had a chance to be very cool,
True.
Even though it didn't end up that way.
I'll give you that.
I'll put those two on there.
I will give you InfoFi. I can't believe we're giving InfoFi flowers in August of 2026, but I do agree. I think like theoretically, conceptually was great, was new, was exciting, got crypto Twitter worked up in a tizzy. I don't even want to say it was like the execution failed. It just like, maybe we blame execution for how it ended. Maybe we blame X, but I also don't blame X for pulling the plug on the APIs when they did. And maybe this is where Ansem's coming from as well. Mayhem says Meteora Labs would debate. He said maybe those of us who were largely into ETH weren't as much into DeFi, but a lot of what we saw on Project X, on Hyperliquid, on the ETH EVM DeFi scene was on Solana. And I know obviously Ansem deep in the Solana streets. So I'm saying Meteora still the GOAT when it comes to this stuff. But so yes.
But I think that this is the point I'm making, which is like, just, I guess I see it, but like, look, when like, I look at it this way, when like everybody's using something that's a complex tool and being like, hey, dummy, you need to understand this. It's like, and that's not what Mayhem's saying. I'm being hyperbolic here, but like, that's one side of it. But the fact that I can give you a laundry list of people who moved into DeFi, which is a key thing that people weren't using before last cycle, and Hyperliquid helped enable that by getting things like Kinetic, by getting things like various vaults. Flow made a huge play into DeFi, even if it didn't land the plane quite as cleanly as it wanted to. Polygon made a big play into DeFi, even if it didn't land the plane initially quite as it wanted to, although I do like Katana quite a bit still. And so I think these yield-bearing mechanisms were things that were being used by certain people, and maybe were even seen as boring in 2021 to some. And I think by last cycle being sort of this dual-sided thing of like, go to the meme coins or go LP and do sort of like yield-bearing assets, I do think that counts when you're talking about a social-driven level of DeFi. Like I think Mayhem's like I obviously think the world of that guy. He's really smart. He's a friend. All those things. But like he was doing things long before I was, certainly. And I think Meteora was there. But I will say that my intro to DeFi happened last cycle, and I know a lot of people who had the same thing. So like I think again, like I know the sort of social fi aspect of things that we didn't quite see land is fine. The info fi. And I still think there's promise there if somebody executes it right, and I think brands can. But I will say, and maybe most people disagree with me in the chat, or most people disagree with me across the board. But I think that DeFi took a major step forward in approachability, UI and UX last cycle, and I think as a result, more people are in it. And I don't know if we have stockbrokers this cycle, if DeFi doesn't take a step forward, if Simple Farmer doesn't get hired by 8chain to lead their DeFi efforts because of the step forward of DeFi. And so I think there are step changes that happen along the way. And again, it's totally cool if you disagree with it, because I get your point of view. But my perspective is like the explosion of DeFi opportunities for people who maybe weren't as in, and people can like be like jaded about it all they want and sort of be like, oh, silly apes with their JPEGs who didn't know how to do DeFi. We've been doing it for a while. Like, say what you want, but like when new consumers enter a market in mass, I consider that a win. And I think that that's what happened with DeFi last cycle, from my opinion, during that cycle, especially for people who didn't participate as much in the meme coin. So I don't know. I'll leave it there because I know you got some spice to get to this morning, and I'm going to jump down, but I just want to throw that out there as a thought.
No, it's good. I think it's also fair because I correct me if I'm wrong, but I think even you at the early days of Hyperliquid were not feeling the UI UX. Like we're a little frustrated. Like it's understand hyper EVM and Project X does deserve some credit because am I right in connecting those dots looking back that it was Project X that kind of got you into
the. About that. That's a good point. I hadn't even like connected. Is that I went to use the initial UI UX and like look, I'm not an idiot. I'm currently doing like someone's telling me like, yeah, I'm watching the Marvel movies for fun in my spare time. I'm like, oh, I'm reading about parasocial relationships and human computer interaction through papers dating back to 1956. And there's some fascinating findings. And I think I'm onto something. So like, I'm not an idiot. And like, I logged on to Hyperliquid and I'm like, this is more complicated than I would like and how you have to onboard, do things, bridges, chains. And I know that like complicated UX is bullish to some people because that means that the masses haven't come yet and there's opportunity. But for what it's worth, I didn't think the initial UX was particularly good or the UI was particularly good. And then others introduced better stuff. And then I was able to kind of sort through it. And like I think it's a fair point.
Yep. And I Mayhem agrees. Especially like DeFi on EVM did take big leaps forward to where those of us who weren't as deep in this Solana ecosystem, like could have we went and found it and done more DeFi stuff over there? Yes. But even though DeFi has been on ETH predating Solana, the UI UX was pretty clunky. And not that you had to be, not that you had to like deeply understand, it's not like you were doing stuff on contract. There was front ends, but they weren't great. They were, I'll say this, like I've been bull posting Hyperliquid in real life group chat for 2 years, maybe however long it's been out, like shortly after. And while some of them have now owned some Hyperliquid, I don't know if a single one has done anything on Hyperliquid. I mean, even the VPN itself is a barrier, but it's intimidating to someone who's not done it before. It is it's an intimidating look. And I think some of that has been made much more simple, much more user friendly. The UI UX has. So yeah, I think we agree on that front. I do think that, and maybe part of that is, underpinning this current DeFi, StockFi, whatever you want to call it, on Robinhood chain. And it also, like, this is kind of embarrassing for me to admit, but until like it was Manser for me that was like the eye opener or the aha moment. And I guess I didn't realize how far behind EVM was as it relates to DeFi until Robinhood chain, until Manser. I'm like, wow, we don't have a Jupiter on ETH, on EVM anywhere. And like, yeah, we've been able to do, there's been DEXs, we've been able to swap, there's spot buying, there's perps, but as far as the Meteora or the Jupiter comparable to it just, I wasn't even realizing that, oh yeah, there's not really a one-to-one comparison on, or hasn't been until now on EVM. And so yeah, things have moved in the right direction. Love to see it. I am Joey. Go ahead and get in here, and then while Joey, I'm going to hand you the mic. I'm going to go grab my coffee. So take it whichever direction you'd like, and then I will. I'll come back with that coffee with a little bit of spice. I'll be right back, Joey. Give me at least like 60 seconds.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I've done a poor job of coming up, and with school drop off and all the exciting stuff going on in the space, it's been like weeks since we've got a chance to talk about like some of the cool stuff that we did recently at BZ. So I've been trying to come up and do like a quick update, and it just hasn't happened yet. But I want to
real quick, Joey, before you go BZ real quick, I'm gonna actually gas up a little bit here. How did we have conversations about last cycle not having innovation and completely miss things like BZ and RWAs in that conversation? So I'll let you go, obviously, and sorry to cut you off, like, because I know I'm not the co-host anymore, but we just talked about innovation last cycle, and we completely missed RWAs, gotcha machines, and the things that y'all are doing, which is another thing that happened last cycle. So anyway, I am going to jump down for you. I'll let you do your thing, but I think you guys deserve flowers for last cycle too.
Yeah, there's been it's kind of flown under the radar how long we've been around Courtyard, Collector Crypt. People don't realize that it's over 3 years now. And it really started to like take off, 24 months ago. And since then, there's been a lot of other platforms popping up that are offering similar mechanics and et cetera. But yeah, the real quick. So for those that aren't, just a quick update. Obviously, we love doing Coffee with Captain. That's not going away. But what we recently did a big update on is how users view the claw, and where now everything is displayed in fair market value. And the biggest thing is we've increased how much money you can get on your swap now. So on the wild card, which is the $30 claw, before I explain it, what we did is we removed the quote unquote hidden fees, right? So before we would offer a 90% swap, and then you would lose about 5.3% of that, right, in fees or whatever the math was. After lots of user feedback, we removed that. So now on the wild card claw and the base silver, you get 85%. That's it. It's just a straight 85%. So if you pull a $100 card, you get $85. Really simple. On the platinums, it's now 92%. So you pull a $100 card, or in those machines, you pull a $10,000 card, you get $9,200. So you now get 92% on, and that's a full 92%. That's not 92% minus 6% or anything like that. You get now a full 92% on both platinum claws, and you get 90% on the gold claw on base. So we are now one of the highest, buyback swap offers in the industry at those numbers, which is really exciting because we wanted to really align with what you're seeing when you go to card shows, right? If you go to a card show right now with a $10,000 card, most of the vendors are going to offer you, 85 to 90% for that card. Well, we want to beat those vendors. So now we're offering you 92% on that $10,000 card. And
Awesome.
then the most recent update, which rolled out yesterday, which is really exciting, is we now have free claw pulls built in to the claw. So while you're clawing, you could just get a free random pop-up of a free claw pull. And it's just a bonus to people that play the claw machines. You don't have to do anything. You just play the claw machine and you get a free claw pull. It'll randomly show up. It's pretty exciting. And then we have a bunch of other stuff we're building out on the UI, UX, really exciting times. So we've been doing a lot the last 2 weeks, but the space has been cooking. So it's like to come up here and try to not interrupt, but like to talk about something else. It's been difficult, plus with the kids. So thanks for giving me some airtime. I appreciate it.
No, for sure. Appreciate you. Appreciate the update. And yeah, we good call, Steve, because we certainly should be talking about the RWA explosion beyond. It started well before tokenized stocks. It started with the Beezies of the world. It actually started, in the colony days on Blast, and that definitely was. I mean, look how far that's come, and it has added a lot of on-chain activity, and imitation is a great form of flattery. The other thing too, I think that if we're going to be talking innovation and how it's different than last cycle, Mayhem brings up a good point. Probably the leading reason we didn't have a lot of this DeFi stuff on ETH or EVM was fees. Fees on ETH were the largest restrictions. $35. I'm quoting Mayhem here. $35 to open or close a pool, regardless of what was in it, was restrictive. If gas would pump, you would get trapped in an LP, being too cost prohibitive to shut it down. I vividly remember listening to a podcast. I think it was probably Club Top Shot when that was popping off early 21. And Peter Jennings, who is he's a CryptoPunk, he's an OG DFS content creator. He's boys with Jonathan Bales and that group that did Bales wrote the blog on why we just spent $35,000 on a Job Morant video that ultimately was my onboarding into NFTs. I think like 5 of them went together and bought a CryptoPunk, and they bought some of those Top Shot moments. Anyways, I digress. Peter Jennings said he was talking about like doing DeFi, doing LPs on Sushi Swap and farming the sushi token. But he's like, with fees right now, like you can't even, you shouldn't even mess around with anything less than $1,000. He's like, you're just basically, if you try to go play with $100 on Sushi Swap, you've already lost, because by the time you move it over there, open a position, close the position, your entire portfolio was eaten up in fees, and you had to move in size to even make it worthwhile. And so if we're talking innovation, like I looked this morning and GUI right now is at 0.2 GUI. Like gas is not talking how much better it's gotten on the L2s, but it's almost non-existent on mainnet even. But yeah, he says.
Yeah, remember when we would look at GUI and it'd be at like 1,000?
Yeah.
Or 5,000, and it's like, oh, but it's still worth minting because the mint's gonna 30x. So who cares if I have to spend like an ETH on gas?
Oh yeah.
Did Steve brought up Project X? Did they ever? I mean, I did. Steve got me into some DeFi, and I was using Project X for a while and racking up points. And did they ever do anything? Did they ever launch a token? Did you ever get anything for all the points on all these platforms that when Steve was talking about last cycle? Like,
I think they did cash rewards, if I'm not mistaken.
So I missed it. I didn't get any cash for my points.
You might still be able to. Or maybe they just airdrop. I don't remember now that you say that, but I just asked in the war room, but I'm pretty sure they were one of the first ones that converted their points into, you got like USDC or whatever. Yeah, no token. It was cash rewards. Yeah, so they did not drop a token, but yeah, you unless there was a claim period, you might have gotten them airdropped, or you might still be able to claim it. I don't remember. But yeah, they were one of the first to do.
I guess I'll go check. I'll go log into the website today and see what's going on.
And you know what?
I forgot all about it until Steve brought it up today.
Yeah. I mean, this is also, I will echo the chat this week, because we've got to hear from Steve a couple times. Where he has missed is often, and I don't take this the wrong way, but Joey and so many others, you're too kind to me. I'm not saying you're a yes men or yes women, but like Steve is not shy. Like if he disagrees with something, he's going to come up and tell me why I'm wrong or why we disagree. And yeah, I think my mind's been changed on innovation a lot. It was different. It was different. We weren't seeing it in like the NFT space for sure, but you start thinking about through all these changes, and even like where I'm connecting dots now, like on the cash rewards for Project X is, I don't know. I haven't asked him, but Simple Farmer might have took some inspiration from that when creating the rewards program for stockbrokers. Like it was, there was like a lot of things changed, a lot of things done differently, as mentioned. And while by themselves, any one thing might have not been like, oh, this is awesome, this is a new meta. Like it compounds, it adds on top of each other. Good builders are going to say, hey, this worked. This was different. People don't like points that are just going to lead to speculation on a token. We've seen how that plays out and doesn't end well often. Doing things differently, doing more of the revenue share approach, and going from, like the whole token buyback and burn meta. I don't know if it was Pump Fund and Hyperliquid that started that, but they were, obviously the two, that have done like $1 billion in revenue to where it's material buyback and burn. But going from simply a buyback and burn meta to more of a rewards meta of not just points, but sharing in the upside. Yeah, there actually has been a lot of changes, a lot of new things. I'm trying to think through like my land the plane now is, I guess where I net out is, that's NFTs have been put at the core of a lot of the innovation. Whether it's not just saying stockbrokers, but we were just talking NetNet, which actually doesn't have an NFT, but Quantrons and this NFTs being incorporated into DeFi, I think is new. And I don't know, it's fun. I particularly enjoy it more. Like it's just more of the experimentation, more new stuff is partially what I'm here for. And DeFi on EVM definitely existed before Manser. Can someone explain like specifically what Jupiter does different than, because I know like the back end, and this, like, big brains have explained to me the tech and how a lot of people, even those that are in the trenches on Solana, don't fully understand what Meteora does, what Jupiter does, and why it's superior for DeFi, for token launches, for liquidity pools. I've had it explained to me, and I maybe could parrot exactly what's been explained to me, but it's not really landed in my brain to where I can put it in layman's terms or give you an Eli 5 on what Jupiter could do that hasn't been, like for instance, like one example would be the ability to do like DCA from a DEX. Like you've been able to do that on Jupiter for a while. I don't know when they launched it. As far as I know, that's not been possible until Mancer launching on Robinhood chain. At least where you don't have to put up your, I think it has been available on ETH where, like, if you wanted to DCA $100 a month for the next 12 months, you could do that, but you had to basically commit $1,200. Whereas now with the Mancer solution, how Jupiter works is you don't have to, the $1,200 isn't coming out of your wallet until every, when the DCA hits, and it's like, okay, I'm buying $100. At that point, the $100 comes out. So you basically, the ability to DCA, to schedule that stuff. But that's not it. That's just one front end thing that hasn't been available on ETH, to my knowledge, up until Mancer with Robinhood chain. But there's also like the pipes and the infra on the back end, especially for those like from that are doing, running funds and whatnot. It's been explained to me that Solana was just superior in terms of the piping behind the scenes than EVM on DeFi. But yeah, DeFi definitely on EVM since summer of 2021. But yeah, it's just I need to understand it better so I can explain it better without the tech jargon. And basically, yes, DeFi has evolved, slow evolution on EVM. Now it's culminating in more of this tech coming to the EVM world. Joey, go ahead, and then I see we have a Wild Cab joining us once again, 2 days in a row. To what do we owe the pleasure? But Joey, go ahead and get back in here.
Two things. So I went on Project X. So I did use it for a while, and I was like top 5% or whatever you were supposed to be for a long time, and then I just stopped. So I paid. So I guess I had $2,100 in fees. I don't know what that means. It just, I guess it's part of the dashboard. And my airdrop was $22. So I mean, I obviously did not use it. I did initially for a long time, and was top 100 or whatever it was, and then I stopped. So I don't expect that it. So basically, I got, what is that math? 22 divided by 2,200. So I got 1% back in the fees that I paid on through Project X. And then my question was, though, which is why I initially put up my hand, was with, I know that stonk brokers and all these other NFT projects right now, like kind of at the center of DeFi. The question is are NFTs necessary for this moving forward, or is there a less like a lower barrier or a lower hurdle for people to do these type of things that are being built without requiring the use of NFTs? Or are we just using NFTs because we like NFTs in this space?
I mean, sure, you could. I mean, I used the example of NetNet earlier. It doesn't have an NFT at the core, but NFTs allow you to do more. You just why not? Because you can, the tech and having a non-fungible token, it provides for more functionality, more experimentation. You can just do more with it. And so when you can essentially bundle it with a fungible token, you get the best of both worlds. So could you do everything that Quantrons or Stonebrokers is doing without an NFT? Theoretically, sure, but I guess, but it enables more. It enables you to not just do more with the tech, but also from as we were talking about yesterday with the Klano crew. And we lost Cab, but we got a pinch hitter, Andrew. They tapped in the tag team here. So, but as we were talking about yesterday, like the super fans, the true fans, like those brand ambassadors, I think that's part of the benefit of the tech of a non-fungible token is it just works better. And I know there's some people who are huge meme coin fans. I don't know, man. I've held a lot of meme coins. I've bought and sold a lot of meme coins. I've never seen a meme. Actually, the closest meme coin community that I've ever felt was like as strong and as supportive as as an NFT community would have been like Unicorn Fart Dust. And so can you do everything? Yeah, I guess. But
like with stockbrokers, like could you have, like, let's say hypothetically speaking, could stockbrokers exist if you just paid, at the time mint was whatever it was, $50 or $100, right? Could you have just paid $50 to open an account and get all the benefits that you're getting with holding a stockbroker's NFT? Or do we feel like the NFT is necessary for all of this to work? I'm just thinking again, beyond like growing what's happening beyond just like our niche of NFTs, right?
Theoretically, yes, but why? It's better. Like part of it is like you look at it like from a membership standpoint, and maybe it was $50 to enter on day one. It's not going to be $50 to enter today. You know, you get the, on the average day, you're getting the average couple days, you're getting $50, not a day. There's been days where you've gotten more than $50 in a day. So it's like, it wouldn't make any sense for the membership to join.
Yeah, there would have to be some type of like, the membership would have to have a bonding curve versus limiting membership with NFTs.
Yeah, and I
driving the price of that membership up.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah, you could do it with the bonding curve. I just personally, I prefer NFTs much better when it comes to the membership, and it's sellable. You know, like we just talked about. I'll hand it to Steve next, and Andrew, I promise we'll get you in here. But it's like, Steve picked up his stockbroker yesterday, hit a WETH bid for a little over 4 ETH. And because it's an NFT, he can participate in the ecosystem. He can, earn those marketing rewards. And then 6 months, a year from now, if he decides that, hey, I'm good, I'm going to move on, I'd like to do something else, like, because it's an NFT, he can resell it. And maybe he doesn't resell it for what he bought it for, but it still carries some value. Where the way you just described it, it's like going back to, Web 2 memberships, where it's like, yeah, it's sunk cost. Like it's you can't, you're hoping for a direct ROI because there's no underlying asset that you can resell to someone else down the road. Steve, thoughts on this? Am I barking up the right tree?
I do believe that NFTs are a better membership. I'm just asking questions to ask questions, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would bring 2 things in there. I would say number 1, like the whole point of the 6551 is that it like lets you have an NFT that holds things, meaning that like not only can I sell my membership, but if I accumulate things over the years and I say, you know what, I don't want any of this, I could sell it to someone, have it be a more appealing. In fact, when I was initially shopping, I ended up going WETH bid because I found a number I was comfortable buying at based on sort of some research I did. And then I put a WETH bid in that I was comfortable getting, which sat below the top WETH bid for a while. And I actually said in the war room when I was the top WETH bid, and then it hit, and then I was able to get in, which is number 1, that means I'm not limited into getting in at all, right? I don't have to be the person who gets in day one. So that's one advantage of it, that I have that ability and I can get a market value against what I see personally as the value. So that NFT helps with that. Second part is, because it's an NFT that serves effectively as a carrying wallet, if I get dropped, like I was debating if it was going to be a Substack or an X thread or what. Like I always think about like I've done like loyalty programs and what like Delta could do with NFTs and all these different things. And, eventually ended up writing an entire book about it. But like the whole point about like this one is that I was thinking about how like, banks or even places like Fidelity, which make a little more sense, could use this similar technology in a different way with assets under management. And the fact that people can drop a third-party reward into there if they want to, like if somebody wanted to drop a ticket to an F1 race into there and it was an NFT, they could. And then I could either sell the ticket, or if it was like, something else, like they drop something else that someone wants to own, like a collectible of some sort. I'm making it up. Like they drop another, type of NFT into there, like we've seen, or they drop some sort of tokens. When I ultimately go to like leave this thing, I could say, you know what? I don't really value this Mancer or this card wall, but somebody else might. And rather than me selling the pieces and the parts and breaking down the car and selling the carburetor, the engine, whatever, I can just sell the car. And so like, I think that aspect of it makes a lot of sense. And the last thing I'll say is like, look, I mean, I'm pretty excited about the stockbrokers community. And that was part of what got me excited about it initially, which is like, there was a happy hour space going on last night. I got added to a group chat that's pretty vibrant. It feels very like sort of like what that 2021 NFT community and excitement came, where people are bringing ideas and trying to build things around it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the two things I would say is, number one, from a very functional utilitarian perspective, an NFT does something interesting and different here. And number two, from the aspect of like having a sense of, ownership, community, and identity, I think that aspect of it comes with owning something, in the same way it's like, like you probably own a bike, Joey, but you could go rent a bike every time you want to use one. And it might even be cheaper with how often you ride a bike, but it doesn't mean that you don't want to own a bike. And if someone becomes a biker, then they start to ride it more. So there's a ton of things that go along with this that you could like trail into it, where I think the actual piece of technology associated behind it does make a difference. At least it certainly did for me. And I think, I've been toying around with how to apply this outside of the space, but I think the mechanism is very interesting.
I love it, and can't wait for the next version 2 of the book. You and Scott are probably already working on 6551s. And I'm not joking. I don't know if you've heard me take on this show, but what you just described, like what NFTs specifically with 6551s have unlocked, like I think it's a lot of your ideas, your theories. It's like this is the path to making all that happen. Like this is like the next evolution of next generation loyalty rewards programs for all the reasons you just mentioned. And while could have it been done without 6551s? Sure. But I think this is, talking about UI, UX and new evolution, new innovation. I really do think 6551s can be an unlock for next generation loyalty rewards programs. Steve, no comment means that, yeah, the book is underway. We need help. We need to crowdsource a title for what can you call the everything token version 6.551.
I mean, he could go like Fast and the Furious and call it like the everything token.
Right. Let's do this. I do a few other things I want to talk about. That said, we got 7 minutes here on 2 time sensitive issues. One is Hibu is getting the Coffee with Captain Pump. It's happening in real time this morning. I'm going to take all the credit in the world, Andrew. I think I've helped you guys raise about $200,000 in the last 53 minutes. Because when I just opened the site at the beginning of the show, I'm pretty sure someone can check the tape, but I'm pretty sure it was like 630 grand at a 12 million FTV. And I said, this is probably gonna see some people ape in here in the final hour of this 25% bonus. And sure enough, I said, I think this will hit 1 million by tomorrow. It might hit 1 million in the next 6 minutes. Andrew, congratulations. Feel free to hit on anything you'd like, but I'd love to see it. Love to see this thing picking up some steam, and pumped for y'all. Thanks for joining us once again.
Yeah, man. Thanks for the support. I mean, obviously you had us on yesterday, and Cap just texted me. He's like, yo, Captain's talking about us. Jump on the spaces. I'm like, does he even want to see us 2 days in a row? But obviously happy to be here and appreciate all the support you've been giving us. Love the conversation that you guys are just having. Love seeing Steve up here again. Feels like good old times a little bit. But yeah, Hibu's running right now. It's the last 5 minutes now, 5-6 minutes before the 25% bonus starts to taper down. So I think that's where a lot of the excitement's coming from. People trying to get in there before it starts tapering down over the next 12 hours. Fret not, for those of you who just heard that or might have just learned about that. Like, you've still got 6 minutes, and it doesn't just go from 8:59 to 9 a.m. and then drop off to 0. It tapers linearly over the 12 hours. So
okay.
You got some time.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think that's where the excitement's coming in these last minutes, which is fun to see. And but yeah, it feels like a lot of people heard the message, and yeah, I think it's actually not to. I'm gonna like almost marry the last conversation you guys were having on 6551s and this new sort of standard on Robinhood, or I guess ERC, but popularized on Robinhood with what we're doing. And I think it's kind of this really great novel thing that I think improves for us at Hebrew, at least, like technically speaking, the ability to reward our fans ever more meaningfully. Like, and I think you hit it really well, where we were talking about, like, you know, NFTs are a little bit more sticky than a token, easier to build community around. I think often people overthink this. I think it's just obvious. Like, you can represent yourself with an NFT. It's like a real thing. It's unique. A token's fungible, obviously, and that creates a little bit less, like, you know, romanticism around it, a little bit less love around it, and less connection. But doesn't mean it's not worth something. So having the ability to have a wallet connected to your NFT, and then that allows people like us who are building these great IPs and properties to reward people like directly. You know, people, we talked about it, I think, a month or so ago when we rewarded our fans through our own achievement system and stuff by, you know, we're giving them equity in Klano. And that's the whole premise, is like, we built this great brand with you. Here's actual legitimate equity in that company. We want to grow together, win together, build this property together. Like, it's the true meaning of community first. I think tech like that really empowers it. So so I think there's something cool in there. And also, to Joey's point, you're going to still have people experimenting and slapping this kind of tech onto things for all the wrong reasons as well. But, you know, that is that's what new tech looks like, I think. So it's cool. Well, it's an exciting time for us.
Yeah, man. Well, congrats again. And yeah, you guys are always welcome. Appreciate you sharing. Appreciate you all doing everything you are to push the space forward and experiment, do new things. And truly am excited for, like, what this, while I was a little too, like, I guess, absolute in my, like, yes, there has been innovation. There has been, things have improved in the last several years. It feels like it feels like the rate of experimentation and advancements is significantly sped up.
Cap.
Yep.
AI. Look at how far Claude, like, look at what people could do with Claude.
Yep. It's a good point. It's a good point. The builders can, the quality devs are just, they 10x.
Full blown mobile apps.
Yep.
In like 30 minutes on Claude. Like, I would imagine a lot of this innovation is because people are leveraging what they can do with Claude and ChatGPT and all these other AIs now. I mean, like, you could, do you even need a dev nowadays to build a lot of this stuff?
I mean, it depends. Like, you probably should at least.
I mean, you do. That was sarcastic.
Yeah. I mean, at least you have someone auditing, spot checking your work. But yeah, duly noted. Quick question for the audience, because not only does the 25% start going down, appreciate that data point too. That's good to know. That doesn't go away. It declines. But as you can see, 886,000 here as it approaches 9 o'clock. We do have the mint site for the ACK mint. Does anyone know if it's in USDC or ETH? They quote, it's been referenced $300. So my assumption is USDC, but does anyone know for sure what the mint is going to be priced in? Because it's not, it's their own site. It's let me pin up the proper link so no one misclicks. It's minting on Muse Factory, which I think is also I think it's ACK's, or is involved. Yeah, so it's an official studio and gallery for ACK specifically. The mint link is pinned up top, opens at 9 a.m. I mean, they are, by the way, those that hold his work, whether it was synthwave or otherwise, there's no rush. Yours is basically is held back and will be airdropped. I think you should have something in your email. But yeah, OX Lawyer says, I remember chatting on the show about whether to get a synthwave or not, Lawyer says, kicking himself for not getting one. Did I get one? Nope, same thing, kicking myself as well. Because the decision I made was, I don't have 2K of dry powder that I want to convert to a painting on my wall or art piece on my wall. It's cool. I'm looking for opportunities for my capital to make more money at this phase of the cycle. And in hindsight, it probably will. Like, there's a world where the free mint you get today runs up to 2K. Yeah, it's like a 7x for mint price, and essentially the synthwave was free. So, but that is the site is pinned up top, and if anyone knows if it's USD or ETH, let me know. I would definitely like to know. I'm not anticipating a gas war because it is kind of a larger supply, but kind of don't really know. But let me show you. Here's here's the mint site again that's pinned up top, argonauts.muse factory. It says not PFPs, MFPs, Muse Factory prints. Each PFP or MFP, there's 9,999 who served in the line of service of the Muse. Some served her in secret, some through religion, some in spirit alone, some refused to serve her even still. ACK collectors claim free. You get a 4x4-inch print. It's a textured chromosculpt, so high quality print. And one claim per Argonaut ever. It's 100% on chain. And you can see here, there's, if you click through, this is, the bones are prehistoric. It says one of 2,499 prehistoric. It is live. So it's priced in ETH. There you go. Now we know. $295 priced in ETH at checkout. Good luck to all the buyers, and I hope you pull a grail. I'm gonna go. I think maybe mint 2 is my plan. I should probably wait and watch to see if it does actually catch some momentum. But this is one where I don't need to. I would like to hold one, but I don't. I'd also like for it to pay for itself. We're in on-chain season, so my thinking is 2-pack, 3-pack, maybe a 5-pack, but because it is a little more pricier based on what we've seen recently, I'm probably gonna mint 2. I'll vault my favorite one, and then hopefully can flip the other one for $600. So I have a free roll in my vault. That's how I'm approaching this. I'm not saying that's the right way to do it. You can mint 10 per wallet. So if you want to mint the full 10-pack, it's 1.2 ETH. Let me go back to some of these others. So I shared this is the prehistoric we've already shared. There's 4,449 bone Argonauts. Silver Argonauts, there's 1,299 of those. 300 of petrified Argonauts. They keep moving on me. It's not, I'll refresh the site here in a second, but it doesn't look open yet. I want one of the ivory, hoodies. That's what I'm hoping for. What do you guys think? I think $300 is more than fair for an artist of the level of ACK. But I have seen some people I don't know if they're aware of who he is and what his other works have sold for, but I have seen some pushback on the mint price. Some are calling it extractive. Get out of here. Like, an artist should be able to mint their work, and the same people who are complaining this should be, lower cost or free. It's because they want to flip it for more. They'd like to buy it for $20 and flip it for $3,000. The artist should be able to make some money. I think we shared the teaser video yesterday. I'll do that again real quick, and then hopefully by then the site will be fully functional, or mint will be live hopefully. And there you go. So you do, it's kind of an interesting mechanic where you've got to slide a boat to agree to terms and conditions. I didn't read the terms and conditions, so DYOR. But it is live, and yeah, gave me some Odyssey vibes as well. Oh wow, lawyer just said he bought one off the floor. Ooh, I think I might have pulled a rare. I don't know, looks rare. Tell me this is a grail. I like pinch me, because I pulled an ivory hoodie. This is what I said I wanted. This thing here looks like, tell me that's a 1-of-1. I will vault the ivory hoodie, and I would gladly sell my whatever this thing is for, I don't know, what's fair, 10 ETH? Tell me how much, I mean, I don't know, for those of you not looking at the screen, I pulled one that's, let me see, view, where can I find this? Oh, here we go. So hold on, let me share the right screen. It's made my day. It just de-spiced all the spice. It offset the cayenne I put in my coffee this morning. So you can see this is one of 2,499 prehistoric Argonauts. Muse green is the palette or background. Prehistoric bones. Site is Louis Vuitton. I dig it. And it's got a wood pipe. The ivory cloak. Absolutely love it. And yes, I will likely keep this one and rock the print. Where do I go back to mine? How do I? My crew. Got it. Took me a second. Now, it is. Sell this thing out. Send it to. Let this be a cook, because we ran pure this morning. One of 88 gold Argonauts. The palette is void. The bones are gold. Only 88 in the entire collection, and it also has the wood pipe. Thank you, NFT Mint gods. I didn't even play my NFT Mint soundtrack, but NFT season 3, episode 1 is officially underway. I'm running pure again in the NFT Mint streets. This is also why, not to go back to, do we need NFTs versus meme coins? This is also why NFTs are superior. I mean, not just because I pulled a rare today, but I love mints and reveals, and it's just so much more fun, especially when you turn over the cards and you pull a grail. This is screenshot worthy though. Love to see it. I guess I could download the PNG. Argonaut 8423. It's a banger. Love to see it. GG's me. And thanks ACK for a great mint. It's a great mint. You get flowers when you send me gold ones. Yeah, I think both look pretty good as well. But because I think the gold will obviously sell for far more, probably going to flip the gold one and keep the ivory one. Thank you all. Appreciate it. Thanks. Yeah, it wasn't ETH. Ended up being 0.2. Let me go back to. Oh, it's already sold. It's already sold out. Whoa. Even more. I didn't expect it to sell it that fast. So even more grateful that I was able to get in a mint, let alone pull a rare. I hope you all got in there as well. because I'm guessing that quick of a sellout, it's probably trading for more than the mint price, which was, I think it'd be like 0.12 maybe. Don't leave home without your wood pipe. 100 ETH minimum on the gold PFP. I'm surprised the ACK PFP doesn't have any piano references. That was his thing. Yeah, he did a real life skull piano. Dort got his claim. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Now I'm trying to see like how stoked am I? Let me find the just looking for the OpenSea link, which we had. There it is. It's 0.145. Okay, so up a little bit. We'll see how this goes. Already 20 ETH in volume, also a good sign. So rapid minute out in minutes. And not only did it mint out in minutes, like it was kind of not clunky, it was fine, but it was definitely different. Like you had to, like the first time I did it, my wallet didn't pop up. I did something wrong, but you had to slide the boat to get the terms and conditions, and you had to basically accept terms and conditions, and it took you back to the mint page. So it took a little bit, and I was multitasking here, so maybe I'm making it sound more difficult than it actually was. But yeah, already 23 ETH in volume. Floor is lava. It's 0.15. So yeah, if you want one, it's slightly above mint price right now. 0.145 minted for about 0.12, if I remember correctly. And I don't know how to find there's the wood pipes, only 189 of those. Bones is gold. That's what I was looking for. Okay. We're approaching 1 ETH. That black hoodie on the bones is pretty fire. Partial to mine, but that's it's pretty fire. Although there's two that look almost identical. Background's different, I guess. Okay. 5 ETH is a more appropriate floor for these golds. There's only 88 of them. Come on, fellas. Delist your gold. Delist your gold Argonauts. Justin, GM, did you pick up this ACK mint today?
Yeah, I did, but I just wanted to jump up just to, I don't know, advise, but recommend anyone who didn't get the mint and is looking at it. Remember, I don't know how many were airdropped free or free claimed, and so that's probably what's setting the current floor price. Once those are gone, the cost basis is the 0.12. So I think there's probably going to be, my guess, a small window of time when the prices are close to mint at this level, because those are probably the ones that were claimed for free.
Yeah, great call. No, great call. I don't know how many there was for free either. I think I saw, does anyone remember? I shared it earlier this morning when I looked at the OpenSea page before the mint was live, but I don't know if that was like the team wallet or if those were the free claims, because it was like, I want to say like 600, if my memory is serving me correct. I could be wrong there, but.
And they also tweeted out like, all the prior collectors, like, check your email for your claim. There's no rush for you, but you can claim them now. And that went out like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes before the mint opened.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, congrats everyone who got one.
Man. Yeah, I agree, man. This is like, man, can we just leave meme coins behind and just like do NFTs again?
So much more fun. And I know yesterday there was another cook on Pistachio. It was maybe more, but Pistachio, an artist, it was like flog vibes where the artist made a thing, someone created a meme coin, sent it to him, and the artist was accepted, wanted to get behind it, and that thing ripped up from 180K to 10 million. So dollars and cents wise, people who got in there early, greater returns than even going from 0.12 to 0.84. But I don't know. It's hard for me to explain, but if you get it, you get it. It's not for everyone, but personally, I'd rather mint something with a chance of it's like maybe there's something here. Maybe as I talk through this, there's an opportunity for a new kind of meme coin pre-sale where, and if anyone's seen this done, let me know. It's not like that crazy thought. So maybe someone has done this, but I actually, you know what? Hibu kind of did this with their watch and collect. What I was the plane I was attempting to land was the idea of buying into a pre-sale for a basket of meme coins, and maybe you get 1,000, maybe you get 100, maybe you get 10,000, but you're buying in for the price of or a fair price for like the lowest entry level, and maybe you get you run pure and you get 100x the amount. It's still not quite as fun. I'm just trying to play the other side of it, but I big NFT fan when it comes to this sort of stuff. Already 50 ETH in volume, and the mint took place 15 minutes ago. Like, this is very. I'm not just saying I got two, right? So it's like, and one's rare. Stop undercutting the floor, Black Hoodie. Give them some time. You don't need your 0.69 that bad. Let things play out here. Stop flooring our rares. Anyways, I kid. The volume.
By the way, nothing against meme coins. I think the 6551s like hopefully do unlock a lot more innovation. Just with this, I also wonder. I guess S-Copy has kind of done PFP style artwork. I wonder if there's like going to be a new trend of like contemporary artists doing PFP style artwork. That would be cool, because that kind of gives like, it's a new like collector segment, let's say, for collectors who, may not be able to afford, let's say, I don't know, $100 grand or $200 grand, original painting, but just like they can, buy prints, maybe a PFP becomes like the digital version of like a Shepherd Fairy print kind of a thing, that I think makes actually a lot more sense than, print runs on digital, just because, you're not necessarily hanging that in your house. So, yeah.
Yes, agreed. Also, Dwayne brings up a good point. For people that want the physical, be careful in secondary. While I don't know if the claim for the physical is even open yet, you want to proceed with caution and make sure that if the physical is important to you, make sure you're not buying one that's already been claimed. Again, there is a trait to Dwayne's point. There is a trait that says unclaimed, so you can sort by that. And there's likely going to be a checker on the website. Just be aware. Again, I don't even think that it's even possible to go claim your physical print yet. I will look, but all you can do right now is you can see a simulated print on the website, but can't claim. But yeah, soon. So like, you don't have there's not a concern today, but like, let's say after the claim site goes live, just make sure you're checking against that if the physical print support you. It's 4x4, so it's not it's not huge, but I think it'll look good in a frame, and it's got on the back, it's got the traits, which are palette, bones, cloak, relic, sight, artifact, and crown. Unless you pull one of these grails, then it's just bones and artifact.
It's actually a cool size for a PFP. It's almost like a trading card.
Yep. I agree.
I have a question. Did you, the site's actually really cool. Did you play around with the generator before the mint went live?
I did not. Did you?
I did. And the weird thing, I don't know if this is like super coincidental or if something was going on the back end of the site. But one of the ones where I was like editing like the background color and everything looks almost, because I liked it, looks almost identical to one of the ones I got. Huh. Probably just a coincidence, but yeah, it was kind of wild. Like the exact glasses I selected, the exact background, all of that,
Very cool. Maybe the NFT guides just they were in your favor as well this morning. The other thing I just noticed on the site here is not only is it a print, high quality print, but it's also they're going to be signed. Each one signed by hand, which a nice cool Maybe that was assumed, but I was not assuming them to be signed. I figured it'd just come off a production line and shipped out. But the hand signed, nice little feature. Yeah, good site too. I'm wondering if he'll be minting open up Muse Factory for others to use this as a mint site, or if it's just going to be his personal works. We'll probably find out soon, but yeah, it also gets me like just even more excited for this NFT season. Like even that, like that experience, while it's just 2 NFTs, and as of now, it's like, I don't know, floor price is 20% above mint price. So it's not like a huge financial home run. It's just fun. And when we're seeing this come back with the collection is Argonauts by Alpha Centauri Kid. We're seeing it twofold. We're seeing high quality artists come out, do high effort work, as well as the on-chain experimentation, the tokenized RWAs. Like it's just there's I think a lot to be excited about right now. And I don't know, maybe we're not even actually in the bull yet. So I think it's begun, but there's other smart people who say it's not yet, looking more like October. But excited to be here. People are funny. It's also another sign that we're back is, you know, that black hoodie I said was a fire one, the gold one with the black hoodie, that someone bought it. As soon as it listed, they sniped it for 0.69 and then immediately relisted it for 0.79. And then someone else with the other black hoodie undercut them at 0.69. People are so funny. I don't know. I don't know why I find that so humorous, but there we go. It's like, oh nope, I'm gonna undercut the floor again. I gotta get this black hoodie sold. So the this one gets bought for 0.69, relisted immediately for 0.79. This one is just undercutting the gold floor. No sell shaming. Do you? But it's a sign we're back when people are undercutting floors that fast. It's a sign of a new season, and putting their sell windows at 15 minutes. So, and hey, not hating the game. Like if they feel like, oh, I thought the floor price could be a lot higher, I want to make sure I sell this Grail while there's still volume and attention on the collection. Yeah, I get that. 10% listed, 20% unique ownership. So I wonder then, and there it went. So someone took advantage of the discount on the gold black hoodie. I wonder holder base. So ACK's wallet has 423. He did say that some of these were going to go into FWA. So for the Flair fans out there, he's going to put some of his collection in TokenWorks projects, the NFT gotcha machine. Then it looks like we got two wallets that minted over 100, and then 90. So not too bad. Just four people. One's at 99.99. So 4 people have 1% of the collection. And then down from there. But a lot did the full 10 pack. So that said, because it was a 10 max per wallet, I agree with Justin. We'll probably see some of the free ones get sold. Although, I don't know. I think a lot of people that have minted his work, they're probably, I'd maybe challenge that they're probably more of the long-term holder types. And unless they just don't vibe with the art. But I do think because a lot of wallets have, and I can't do the math here, someone can add it up and tell me, a lot of the wallets minted the 10 pack, like they'll be taking profits. Some maybe already now, but there's a lot that minted that took full allocation of the 10.
These 2 wallets that have like over 100 and some with 90, 80, does that mean they just bought 90 each on the secondary?
I doubt it. I mean, we'll find out. But so I shared this the other day on what was it? What were we talking about? It was another mint, and I didn't get it. Maybe it was Rec Traders. It was Rec Traders because the first come first serve went like that. And it's not gas wars per se, like it was back when I was a kid and walked uphill in snow, uphill both ways for 5 miles. It's not gas wars, it's bot wars. And I'm not saying that's what happened here, but what probably happened, and maybe it's some of these with 100 wallets, is they had, say, and it does look like this wallet in particular, this one I clicked, so sample size of 1, it does look like they bought a bunch at point. Oh no, those are listings. Sorry. Nope, these were all minted. But what happens is, and I could be wrong. I'm analyzing this in real time, but these were all.
I just saw something on the site that will give a hint to this, but I'm curious to hear what's going on with bots too.
So what my understanding is happening is the savvy participators out there that are good building these bots is, and I'm guessing in this case, if there's 100 and the max was 10 per wallet, they probably loaded up 10 different wallets with 1.2 ETH, and then when the mint site goes live, all those wallets, the bots go mint their full allocation. But they're not. They don't just sit in the individual wallets. They've got it set up to where they mint and then instantaneously transfer to their operating wallet, or this wallet we're looking at here. If I'm wrong there, someone can please check me on that. But that's my understanding is what we're seeing now is these that are savvy with the bots, they will, that's how they're getting around max. Yeah, you can.
So yeah, the one thing that
this is his bot
I
wallet.
know those wallets specific, but when I go on those site and you go to the snapshot, it looks like his prior collectors didn't have the 10 max because they were set by a certain formula. So each wallet claims 10 for each ACKPFP, then 2 for each broken keys piece, and for each complete color study set, then 1 for each one of 1. So they might have just been like massive collectors of his. Let's say they had 10 ACKPFPs. Well, then that's 100 right there.
Could have been some absolutely could have been that. You're right. In this case, I think I found Screw Wheels mint wallet or bot wallet, because 2 hours ago, this wallet that had 99 of them in there sent 12.5 ETH to this other wallet. I checked the other wallet that they sent the 12 ETH to, and there's no NFTs in the wallet at all. And but you can see that it received the 12.5 ETH. Then that wallet sent 1.25 ETH to 10 other wallets. And then it also minted 10 of its own. You can see here on the 1.2 ETH transaction, it minted 10 of its own and then sent those back to the Skrilla wallet. So I'm near certain in this one particular wallet that has 99, they used 10 different wallets with bots and minted all. What I don't understand, like that all makes sense. Where it loses me on the tech side is how they program it to where it doesn't even look like it ever even hits these wallets. Like as soon as they mint it, it like instantaneously sends it back to the wallet they set it at. So I'm guessing all that can just be coded in a smart contract, but it's new to me, a little above my head. But yeah, so in addition to collectors collecting multiples and the bots, but so we'll see how it shakes out. I think this is because it's a known artist, because there's it's not just some random hype mint. I think I think things will play out okay here. This is a pretty fire one too. This guy grabbed got some good ones in its mint basket. Floors right now is back to mint price, so it's 0.12. DYOR. Do your own research. Maybe I should have immediately listed that gold one, but I'm not sweating it. It's the gold floor is still 0.62, so down a little bit, but I think that this is also talking about NFT mints and just getting like brushing off the dust is like playing a mint. Like looking at data, looking at the analytics, understanding that, okay, there's a lot of wallets that have 10. They probably don't plan to keep all 10. Like they're here to take profits. And so this likely could dip below mint price until the distribution hits. And then once we get wider distribution and then you can see the thing run. There also could be some whales that are now going to look to accumulate. But
yeah, I was feeling like, again, like this is just more from a collector mentality, not necessarily like any financial aspect to it. I have a feeling this is going to be, for multiple reasons, like a collection that over the next few days is going to increase for the following reason. You have like a lot of the flippers, like as you're seeing the relisting, like they're going for like 0.05 profit and then relisting and 0.05. It's like, once that clears away, but also like, I'm on the West Coast. It's 6:30 a.m. here too, and so it's like, I think that, there's going to be like, I think there are going to be like more collectors in this collection than normal weighted, I guess, flippers or speculators compared to other collections. That's just at least my guess.
Mine as well. No, I that's open to being wrong, but that's my thinking as well. Is while
like I wouldn't list your gold right now.
I'm not.
Hold off and see where it settles.
Yeah, and because I'm not, because like best case, worst case, like the downside here is if I don't list it now, maybe in a week the floor on the golds is like 0.3. I don't think it's going to go too far below mint price. So let's say if the mint price, if the floor stays right at mint at 0.12, I'm very confident that a gold is going to fetch at least 3x the floor, and it will fetch some sort of premium. So if that's the case, my floor is like 0.4 from here, but the upside is tremendous. If this does get wider distribution and collectors start collecting, yeah, a gold one of these I think can could really send. But good stuff. Before we move on to our next special guest, I saw Smoke jumped up here as well. Smoke, did you want to get in on this? Any comments, questions, or thoughts on the Argonauts mint? Or if so, feel free to throw up your hand or unmute and get in here. If not, we will jump into our next segment. PAL, just one L, not two in palette. Thank goodness for spell check. Before I go to our next guest, another thing I wanted to comment on. Well, actually, I'll hold that. I'll hold that for a later time. Let me finish this post. Jesus. All right. There we go. Sent. All right. You all got saved. You didn't have to deal with Spicy Cap today, unless our next guest, unless Aaron goes there, we might get into it. But it was rage baity title. Hans, thank you very much for the Pingu tip. Greatly appreciate it. Congrats to everyone who got in Hibu. Congrats to anyone who pulled who got in on the ACK mint, even though it's not an immediate huge flip opportunity. I think hopefully it's one that you like to collect or are glad to have an ACK piece. I again truly. TMA says his mint has the entire space divided, even with the art circles its extremes. Will be interesting to see how it plays. Yeah, we will see. Sold out in about 2 minutes. A lot of people grab 10, as we mentioned, and secondary is roughly mint price. So yeah, if it's something you vibe with, go shopping. Go pick one you like, and that is the benefit when you do get some flippers. I think as well, because there's, even though the art space might be divided on this one, I think that the collectors are also smart. Like ACK's collectors have been around for a while, and they also can see what I just saw, and that, okay, there's flippers in here. They're buying and literally listing for like 0.005 gains. They're going to let that stuff flush out of the ecosystem. We may see the floor dip a little bit, but I do think at some point you'll see some. Also, it is worth noting that if you weren't familiar, and Aaron, I promise we'll get to you here in a second. I'll finish this thought. If you weren't familiar, our Lord and Savior Adam Weitzman, I don't know what he paid for this thing. I'm guessing it was solid 6 figures. This one of one artwork here is owned by Adam and will be displayed in his NFT museum that he is building in New York. I don't know if Adam picked up any. I'm guessing he's going to at least claim his free ones. And not saying this is happening. I'm not saying go buy these things because Adam's going to come in and sweep 100 off the floor. But how Adam's moved, I would be somewhat surprised if he doesn't have if he doesn't add a bunch of these to his collection. Again, don't do it because I said that, but yeah, this piece here, insanely detailed. It's not showing it on screen, it's not doing it justice. But if you're listening and you don't have the video pulled up, or you tune in later, go to Alpha Centauri Kids Twitter handle, which is the A in Alpha Centauri Kid is the @ symbol, and then spell out Alpha Centauri Kid, but just swap the A in Alpha for the @ symbol. It's his pinned post, so you can go see it there and click into it. Zoom in. It's insanely detailed, really cool piece of art. And I'm not claiming to be the biggest. I'm not a dork. I'm not the art connoisseur, but I've always been a fan of his work. I like the style, and yeah, grateful to add a couple. All that being said, we are moving into moving into our next segment of the day. I may put him on the spot actually, but this is Inside the Vault, brought to you by Unvault.
Yo, inside the vault, put royalties back on chain. Enforcement went optional, we bringing it back again. Freeze it at the source, then you move it with ease. Claim it where you land, one live, no duplicate keys. No rappers, no doubles, identity stays intact. Clean ownership trail, royalties paid, that's a fact. No, one live, no duplicate keys.
Welcome back to Coffee with Captain Mr. Haber. We got the Unvault account on the Audio Spaces stage. At this point, I'm going to assume every one of you here is well aware of Unvault at this point. If not, I don't know what rug or what rock you've been sleeping under, because they have taken over the space. Aaron, you got to be careful. You are approaching main character realm here. If you guys keep this up,
well, then everybody's just catching up to me, because I've always been the main character in my own head. It's just nobody else thought that. So I appreciate that, but I don't want to assume that everybody knows what Unvault is. And I think it is very important for people not to believe their own press. And I've been through a lot of stuff in the past 6 years here. I don't assume anything. I don't know if I made this analogy on your show, Cap, but I'm a Yankees fan. I'm from New York. What do the Yankees do when they clinch the playoffs? Do you know? Nothing.
Because it's expected.
They just like shake each other's hands and they go, because the
job's not finished.
The job is not finished. Even when they win, I think in the first round of the playoffs, they might be like, woohoo, and so there's still work to do. We haven't launched yet, as people know. It's imminent, but there's still work to do. And and the thing is that we're working for not just us, but we're trying to work for the whole space. And so there was work to do. But that being said, I'm eternally grateful that people seem to understand what we're trying to do. For the most part, seem to like it. I'm very, very grateful. Before we get into everything, I do want to say congratulations to Cab and the Claynosaurus team for just another masterful campaign. They work very hard, and they're very thoughtful about what they do, and it is nice to see them continuing to execute seemingly all the time. Disclaimer, I'm a Claynosaur. Disclaimer, of course, we'd be honored to work with them at Unvault, but either way, we love the Claynosaurs. Great job.
Yep, good, well-deserved flowers. I too love the Claynosaurs for many reasons, and it is, if you were keeping score at home, because I was right but was wrong. I was wrong in the sense that I said it would likely hit seven figures tomorrow. I was very wrong in that, and on the timing, because it hit seven figures as of now. That last push at 25 on the 25% bonus. Also, if you were here earlier and then missed Andrew speak, I was incorrect saying that the 25% bonus did end, but it's decreasing. It doesn't go away. It decreases linearly. So right now you still get a 23.6% bonus. That bonus, some bonus, it's going to continue to go down over the next 11 hours and 19 minutes. After that point, the bonus is going away and you just get the allocation you get. But at a little over $1 million already deposited, that puts the implied FDV at 20 million. And
no sleep till 1 billion. That's what I say.
I'd love to hear it, man. So for those that somehow aren't familiar with Unvault, I know you came here today to tell everyone what they need to do and how soon those bugs are going to be the market cap of $1 billion. That's what we were talking about pre-show. Is Aaron's basically guaranteed? I'm kidding. He's not.
Yeah, right. No, you will never hear me talk about the value of what the secondary market does. One, because who knows, and two, because we can't talk about that. But no, listen. The last week has been great. Let's first talk about just a quick what Unvault is, because everybody's like when mint, and yes, we would also like to when mint, right? But people should know that Unvault is a NFT trading platform, just like OpenSea is an NFT trading platform. In terms of being able to list, in terms of being able to buy and sell and trade and check out what your NFTs are and all that, there's really no difference. We have a less of a marketplace fee when we launch. Well, and after as well. I just say, I just mean like we're not launched yet, right? But we're an NFT trading platform. We happen to have a very exciting mint coming out to start everything, called Genesis Bugs, where yes, you can always mint first for the participating collections that are minting from our platform, and those collections may give you a minter's bonus just for minting that you could only receive if you have a Genesis bug. But we're also allowing people to take, if you're a creator, to take their project, existing or new, and have it on 8 chains. So anyway, blah blah blah. That's kind of what Unvault is. But too many people think that like we're the Genesis Bugs are our collection, and like that's the whole bag. Like Genesis Bugs is called Bugs because we meant it to be like a first collection where people would go and just like break the platform and help us, find like, oh, there's a missing link there, or this thing could be better. And we did not expect it to get so much attention. We're grateful that so many people want in. But we're more than that, I'm more than just a handsome guy. Like I have a brain too. It's kind of like that, we're more than just Genesis Bugs. We have a whole platform for you guys. So yes. And just to answer the one min, because we've been talking about that, OX quit, right?
Oh yeah.
You're nodding to me, but you need to say it to the people listening, right?
Oh yeah.
OX quit is a genius. OX quit is, for my money, literally the best auditor in our space, and we are lucky to be working with OX quit, because you know what OX quit is going to do? He's going to make sure that nobody's assets get fucked up, right? And that is more important than pushing everything out. We're not like a vibe coded, cat collection. No offense to vibe coded cat collections, by the way, but that's not us. So we have invented new tech, and we need to make sure that it's not going to eat your face when you connect your wallet. So he has done the first go through on everything, and honestly, it's like the second or third go through, and we're good. Like we've remediated all the findings. Everything's good. But Quid is an expert. He's a perfectionist. He's doing his due diligence, and so he's going through it like literally with a magnifying glass. Just he's printed the whole thing out, and he's looking at it with I don't know how he does it, but point is he's doing it manually now. That's his process, and we need to respect his process, not rush him. And it's I don't know. Hopefully he's going to be done next week. And then once he's like, "Yep, did it, everything checks out," we're like, "Boom!" We press the launch button, but not before that because it is very important that everybody's assets are safe. It's very important that there are no exploits that we have not thought of. We have excellent dev team, but you need somebody to check your work, and so that's where we're at. But a couple of people in the last day have said, "Oh, when you finally finish the build," they said, no, it's finished. It's done. It's ready to launch. All we have to do is deploy the contracts, but we're not going to do that until Quick gives us the okay, which hopefully will be coming next week. But again, we're not going to rush them, and so that's when mint.
Love it.
Did you hear about debugs?
I did, but I heard about it, but don't think I fully understand it. It's a pre-test but it's not like a test net. It's going to be a real collection, or no?
Yes. So we launched the bugs page that is going to be the mint page, and we also put a wallet checker in. 20,000 wallets checked in a very short amount of time, which is crazy because there's only 350 active wallets in the entire space. So I don't know how that happened. But 20,000 wallets checked, which, by the way, does not mean that 20,000 wallets are eligible. It means that 20,000 wallets checked. And out of the 20,000 wallets, we had about 500 reports that this isn't working for me. It's a pretty good percentage, but still not good enough. And so we spent, I said we, like I did anything. Yuppie spent the day fixing it and did a great job with that. And to the point where, now we get one report every once in a while. It's usually user error. I've been there. I've user errored. But it works, right? And so I said to Ernest that night, I'm like, and by the way, this was like a learning thing because I, as co-founder, was like, listen, guys, I really want this page up. Let's get this wallet checker working. So the ironic thing is, like, the whole omni-chain, thing and the divot and that's all working fine. We all tested that. The wallet checker, I pushed too hard, too fast. And so I told the team afterwards, I'm like, I know, I can be a big scary Claynosaur, but let's not ship anything until it's 100%. Right? You just tell me no. Like, you guys are the bosses of the tech department. Just tell me no. So I said to Ernest, I'm like, you know what? It'd be worse than a wallet checker misfiring a few times is the bugs mint not going according to plan. I want to do a practice collection. And because it's the first omni-chain mint. Like, it's not just the first mint for Unvault, it's the first omni-chain mint. It's the first mint where people from at least 8 different chains, might be 10 by the time we launch, no promises, but it's the first mint where people from 8 chains could connect with their native wallets, pay in their native currency, and then have the NFT delivered to whatever chain out of the 8, 10 they want. So, I mean, we've done testing, works for us, but we haven't had, 20,000 watts, 20,000 wallets. I was thinking bots, 1 million bots try to crash the thing at one time. So we're going to do a test collection. I said to Ernest, I'll think of some funny name. I'm a comedian. He goes, I got a name. I was like, what? He goes, debugs. I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. That's so smart. That's so funny. So it's the debugs. Now, for debugs, we're not promising anything, right? The utility is
Your utility. It's just art. There's no future mint bonus. There's nothing. It's just art in a practice, right? There's no.
Yeah, I mean, even with the art, I mean, we'll see what it is. But this is literally just like, if you're eligible for bugs, you can mint debugs. But also with the bugs, there's only 5,000 mintable pieces. There'll be 10,000 mintable pieces with debugs. Now, I'm also not going to promise that we never do anything with it. But almost consider this like our V1 punks. I mean, not quite the same thing. V1 punks, it was sort of a natural occurrence, but this is like the test. And then once we see that everything is working, or we have to fix a couple of things, then we launch bugs, and then first class Frenchies mints right after, and then we got blowies, and then we have a calendar of a bunch of mints coming up that are all like, when's our mint? When's our mint? As opposed to when's our mint? So we're going to be giving out dates in the next few days, but but that's the debugs right there.
So, not going to press you on date. I appreciate you doing it the proper way and making sure everything is safe and secure, especially something that's novel. I don't know if you caught it. I know it was early, or super early in the morning for you, but we were talking about innovation and how we're seeing so much more this cycle. And part of it is better infrastructure. Part of it's, yes, AI to help existing devs 10x their work, to help others that maybe not been a programmer or a dev now start doing stuff. But this is truly new novel infrastructure. The not just royalty protection and the divot and being able to share those rewards with your collector base, but the omni-chain mint is as far as I know, it is new, and especially to go 8 chains at once is pretty exciting. So
internationally patent pending. Look, it's nice to see. I don't know why. I think maybe, like you said, AI, but AI has been around for a couple of years. Maybe it's just gotten better. But yeah, it seems like we're going through kind of a renaissance after a dark ages, in all kinds of different ways. And I think the first golden period of NFTs, and maybe I'm being egocentric because it's like when I came in. I mean, I guess maybe 2017. I don't know, but like 2021, 22, we had lots of these big collections come out and really really utilize blockchain in a very interesting way. Bored Ape Yacht Club, Pudgy Penguins, eventually, Claynosaurs, of course, et cetera, et cetera. Look, even Azuki should get credit for the 721A that they created. You had innovations in just how to mint. JR and Oniforce created the whitelist. As far as I know, that was the first time that ever happened. And now we're seeing a lot more push for what can be done now that those guys have established, as I say, guys, men and women, established what the space could be. And now fast forward 4 or 5 years later, and there's a new push of people that are saying, okay, that's great, but also this. And it's a great time to be in the space.
Indeed it is. And part of what makes it such a great time is builders like yourself bringing back the new exciting stuff, bringing back the experimentation, bringing back the innovation. Not that it ever entirely left, but as I was saying earlier, like the cadence that we're seeing new stuff, it's
well, people have been building and building, and I've been talking to a lot of people who have been building during the bear, but they could not get the attention.
Yep.
So you're right. People have been building. They haven't been getting the attention. And Ernest and I were talking to the space yesterday that one of the best things that one of the best parts about what we're doing is that we are getting we're having a lot of conversations with founders who are saying, we had a problem and Unvault fixed it. And that makes me feel so good, right? When we announce a partner, sure, we have 5% going, oh, when mint, oh, why are you announcing another partner? But most of the people go, let me check out this collection. Where there's somebody who's been grinding away for 2 or 3 years with a very small but loyal following, and now we're almost helping them relaunch. And that's kind of the best part about all this, because the whole point of this is to help out everyone in the ecosystem: founders, collectors, traders, minters, even the blockchains. So seeing volumes go up, and of course we don't guarantee that, but it's nice that when we announce a partner, there's a pop of people paying attention to them, and that's really, really nice. Now I can't wait to launch the whole thing so that everybody can see what we have going on. They can see the lower marketplace fees. They can see the fact that they can easily go from one chain to the next. It's so easy. It's ridiculous. And they can start messing around. And we've had a lot of great founders say, okay, your tools do this. What if I tried this? And we're like, oh, Yeah, that's a great idea. So we expect a lot of innovation and a lot of great ideas from our founders, and even from some collectors who have given some great ideas. One thing I do want to say, Cap, is that uh, I don't know. I guess the beginning of the week, maybe over the weekend. I think it was over the weekend. We've been getting messages from some of our partners, from some holders of some of our partners who are worried that we are not going to let them use burner wallets or new wallets for the Bugs Mint, because there's somebody in the space who, I guess they have a bot service or something, and they've been saying, "Oh, I've seen the source code. I know what they're doing, and you're not going to be able to use burn wallets because they're using a wallet rating system." And it's just completely to give the person the benefit of the doubt. You can understand why they say that, because Clutch Markets does have a tool, and certainly was offered to us. And we said, yeah, we're going to try it a different way. So I don't want to give anything away for the mint, because I'm not trying to educate the bot creators, but we're not doing that. Like, nobody's seen our source code. If you're assuming that because we're partners in Clutch Labs that we're going to use every piece of tech available for every situation, that's not a correct assumption. So nobody should get their information from anywhere besides on Vault, no matter how confidently somebody types. And I literally, because I'm not like a dev. I said to our dev team, I was like, "Is there something that I'm missing? Like, this isn't right." They're like, "No," and I'm like, "But he says you've seen the source code," and they just and they were like, "No, that's impossible. No, nobody has." And when somebody says impossible, I go, "Okay, well, maybe somebody had, but no, it's not possible." So please only get your information from Unvault. Certainly ask us questions if you're nervous about something, but are we going to try to frustrate the bots? Yes. Do we have ideas on how to frustrate the bots so that normal people can mint? Yes. Are we going to be 100% successful? I'm sure no, but nobody can say that we can't, that we didn't really try. But in this case, is that something we're doing where we're not going to let users burn? No, it doesn't matter. Just have our partner's asset in your wallet at mint, and you'll be eligible to mint. I hope you get one. But yeah, you'll be fine. Now, if you try to have 100 wallets with 100 partner assets, NFTs at mint, you might get very frustrated. My suggestion is have as many partner collections in your wallet as possible, so that if one bucket runs out while you're sitting there pressing the button, you can go to the next collection and try to get one. You may outsmart yourself if you try to bot it up.
So I'm going to tug on the string just a little bit, not doubting or debating what you just shared, but because we were just talking about bots with this Alpha Centauri Kid mint, and what part of it is, I think the bot game has leveled up significantly from where it was probably even a year ago, definitely a few years ago, definitely significantly different than 21. It's no longer so much. It was the rec traders first come first serve portion of their mint that it like hit me, like the light bulb went off, like, oh, it is a skill issue. I'm not saying that to anyone else. I'm saying it to myself, because I used to I could compete with the best of them in a gas war. Well, gas war is not the game anymore.
Right.
The game now is, can you build a better bot than the other people? And these bots are, I just had one pulled up where someone had, like, they sent 12.5 ETH to 10 wallets this morning. 1.25 ETH to each wallet, and like instantly at mint, each of those wallets minted the full 10 pack allocation, and then instantly, like, automatically sends them back to the initial funding wallet. That sort of stuff is, and maybe, hey, if people know how to do this, it's easy to build something like that. I don't know, but definitely the bot game has definitely changed.
Right.
So again, I'm not trying to pry to get you to share all that because I don't want it to be out there if there is some secret sauce. But obviously, you're taking that into consideration. You're well aware of this sort of stuff, and part of the inhibitor of the bot attack and a few people getting hundreds of these bugs is you do have to hold the partner collections. There is going to be a limited allocation per partner collection, and theoretically, not only will that put another layer of requirement to have access to the allow list, but adds another layer of complexity for these bots that are likely to hit the mint.
First of all, I mean, the funny thing is that maybe you're going to have bots buying thousands of our partner collections before mint. And okay, fine. And even if they go to dump them afterwards, it's still volume and it's royalty enforced. So, okay, thank you for your royalties, bots. By the way, we're not anti-bot, right? Like, I think bots are fantastic. I love technology. Our platform is very bot friendly, right? Like Simple Farmer built it to be very agentic friendly. If you want to bring your bots and trade, it's a skill game. You want to be the best arbitrage trader and you have a bot that can help you, go for it. We have no problem with people using bots to trade because that creates volume and that creates royalty streams, and that can fund the divid, and that can fund mentors bonuses. And please bring your bots to trade. You'll find us wide open, handing out hot cups of oil for the bots. But for this mint, our point is to get wide distribution. Now, I'm sure some bots will figure stuff out and they'll get it. What are you going to do, right? But we do have certain ideas that we think will frustrate the bots to the point where by the time the bots figure it out, people with human fingers and ability will hopefully be able to mint their bugs. And if we're wrong, at least we tried a hell of a lot harder than we could have. And so, I can't get into like what we're doing, but we definitely have some unique plans. And look, I mean, if you don't get one in the mint, hopefully you pick one up. Hopefully the bots are like, oh, gross. Let's get rid of this thing on the secondary, and you'll be able to pick one up. I mean, it's a free mint, so I'm sure it won't be free, but for cheap, who knows? Who knows? That's even assuming that we sell out, Cap. I mean, again, I know people are hot on it, but I just don't assume anything.
You don't have to. You can remain humble if you'd like, but I would put I'm a betting man, so I would put a large amount of money on your free mint will absolutely sell out, likely rather quickly. I do think we'll get the bot war. Appreciate you taking the steps to. Let me ask you this. Another question then, if you can share, and no comments, an acceptable answer. Okay. Do you, because of the utility with these bugs and the minter perks and whatnot, does like when if an NFT is transferred, explain to us again how do the mint share, how does that work? If an NFT is transferred, does it have to stay in the original minter wallet or no?
Are you talking about for the mint or are you talking about the bugs?
The bugs.
The bugs are in terms of being able to be traded and transferred, they're normal NFTs. So you can trade them, you can transfer them, you can sell them, you can buy them. The things that cannot be transferred are the minter's bonuses. When you mint from First Class Frenchies has told me that they're going to give a minter's bonus. Okay, So you mint a First Class Frenchie, you get a minter's bonus. I haven't heard the finalized version of what it's going to be, but you'll get dropped an 1155 NFT into your bug's wallet, the bug that minted. If you mint 5 First Class Frenchies, you'll get 5 mentors bonuses. If you mint 2, you'll get 2, etc. Those mentors bonuses are token bound to the bug, right? Okay. The bug of 6551 has a wallet inside of it, basically. It does. And so, if you think about it, they're soul bound to the 6551 wallet. To make it easier, we just say they're token bound to the bug. They stick into the bug shell and they can't get out. So when you sell the bug, the minter's bonuses go with them. Okay. Does that answer your question?
It does. It does. That's what I was attempting to get to. Is there any, I was thinking about the bots, but even just as any minter, if they transfer, they mint one and they transfer their bug to a Vault wallet, they're not losing any of the rewards. They're not losing the ability to get those minter bonus. It's the 6551 wallet. So it just, wherever the NFT goes, the rewards also go with it.
Yeah. I think, don't quote me on this. We're going to ask the dev team again, but I think when you go to claim your rewards, you need to be on the chain that you minted on.
Okay.
But I think that's the only limitation. And again, it's super easy to do on our platform. If you don't want to keep the bug on one chain, you want to keep moving it around, that's totally fine. But now, when we talk about bots, after this first mint, we don't really have a problem, right? Because the Genesis bugs mint first on most of the collections. And when I say most, if a project comes to us and they're like, no, we don't want like 4,000 hungry minters looking at our project. We go, oh, okay. But the bugs go first. Now, I suppose if a bot farm buys a bunch of bugs, what are you going to do? Right. But that's not cheating the game. That is the game. I mean, I've been telling collab managers, like, look, things are going to change a little bit because it's not the normal collab system on Unvault. Like, you can't get guaranteed. I mean, I guess somebody can give a certain amount of guaranteed spots and just hold part of the allocation, but bugs eat first. So if you have the bugs going first, I've literally talked to projects who are like, oh man, this is a problem. What if the bugs mint up my collection too fast? And I'm like, boy, that's a good problem to have. Right. And so what I've been telling collab managers is you may want to stack a bunch of bugs, right? Because if you stack a bunch of bugs as a collab manager, then you can go around to different projects and say, hey, I've got 50 bugs, which means that I have 50 spots to give out for the first phase of minting on these collections. And you can delegate the bugs to the raffle winners as opposed to giving wallet addresses, which we're not going to take because we have the bugs. You can just say, all right, I'm going to delegate to these 50 wallets, these 50 bugs. But here's the kicker. If you're the collab manager, the minters bonuses are not transferable, like we just talked about, right? So even if they're delegated, the minters bonuses go into the collab manager's bugs. And to give the collab managers cover, there's literally nothing anybody can do about it. The person can't say, oh, but I won this, I should get the minters bonus. Get your own bug. So if you're a collab manager, you might think about that strategy because you can not only get hired by different collections because you've got something that they want, but you also will retain all of the minters bonuses.
Interesting. What I know, home stretch here, waiting on audit to be finalized, get the green light, good to go. Obviously, if someone is a builder and they're interested in utilizing Unvault to whether it's a new mint to go omni-chain or existing collection to go omni-chain and protect royalties, DM the Unvault account. It's up here on stage with us. If you're watching the video, you can also scan that QR code. It'll take you directly to, actually, I don't know where that takes you. I'll find out. I don't remember what we put it there. I'm guessing the Unvault website. But other than the builders or those that might be interested in utilizing the platform, Aaron, for those that are, I'm freaking out, I have some partner collections, or I think I have enough partner collections. Is there anything else the audience that wants to mint a bug, anything that they should be doing now to prepare for mint? Is it make sure you've got a partner collection? Is there anything else they should be doing in advance of this mint to make sure they're positioning themselves the best they can to be able to mint?
Yeah, like if you go to unvault.com and you can find, I'm pretty sure you can find the link on our.
It is the QR code, by the way. It does take it to Unvault. It takes you to your site.
Great. Okay. So if you go to unvault.com, you're going to see that bugs button. There's a couple of buttons there. Click it. Go and see our partner collections. We have added. Is it still there? Yeah. We've added the a buy button, which now goes to OpenSea because we're not open yet, and I can't tell you how much that hurts my feelings. But but once we launch, it'll go to the Unvault platform. Just see what you have. You might even have some partner collections in your wallet that you didn't even know about. Maybe somebody dropped you something one day. Maybe you forgot that you bought one. You might already have some. Beyond that, it's just pay attention. I mean, we're going to give people like at least 48 hours notice before we mint. because we're not doing a stealth mint. You know, Ernest has had to do like 100 takedowns on X for people using our logo. Make sure you're looking at Unvault. We are not going to do a stealth mint. We're not going to drop some random link. You know, you're going to know when it's happening. But no, just having our partner collections, or if you're one of the early wallets that you know put in, again, that's not guaranteed. There's an allocation for that group.
And can you? I know we've explained that before, but for those that haven't, can you mind explaining that? Like, whether you want to use specific collections in a specific quantity or just generic, like, because like I know it's different, but I think of like, I think Mintators was one of the first to do it this way. I think of I think Mimu's did a similar, and theirs was, you know, I don't know, probably botted, but I'm guessing because it went so fast. But do you mind explaining this for that aren't familiar with what that'll look like when it comes to the specifics around who's eligible, how many, etc.?
Yeah. I mean, and yes, I mean, I minted a Mintator, and it was a very interesting way of doing it. I think it was a great way to get collections involved. So from that perspective, it was really smart as well. But each collection has a certain allocation of mints for bugs, and it is not the full allocation for the collection. Like there are 7,777 Gonpol NFTs. There are certainly not that many, not even close to that many in their bucket. I spoke to Psych and we worked out a number.
Could be like 100, could be 200.
Yeah.
For example, not saying that's what's going to be, but for example, there might be of the Godpool NFT holders, there might be 100 bugs that could be minted specifically for those holders, right?
Yes. And so when you come to the minting page on Mint Day, my suggestion is you have as many of our partner collections in your wallet as possible, because that gives you a chance to mint from a lot more buckets, right? I think about it like a bucket. Like there's a certain amount of mints in the bucket, and then once it's run out, the bucket is dry, and you won't be able to mint from that bucket anymore. But you're smart. You have 5 different collections in your bucket, and you know, just go on to the next one. And again, there's no guarantee, but only those who have those NFTs in their wallet will be able to mint from that bucket. And I'm really curious to see how it shakes out, right? Because I thought that certain collections that were not very there wasn't a lot of engagement, you know, for the collections. I thought, well, that's going to be an easy bucket to mint from. But then as we've announced each collection, we've seen a hell of a lot more people become members of that community and have those buckets. So, you know, some collections have very, very small allocations. Trashy treasure boxes, for instance, which people might be like, well, I don't even remember what that is. It was a utility NFT that we put out in the STK family. It really, you know, we were like, no more utility. Well, surprise, here's a utility. You can mint a bug. But the allocation is so small for trashy treasure box. It's not like 1, but it's not a crazy amount. So I'm really curious, does that bucket empty before like Godpool, you know, that has maybe 20 times the allocation of trashy treasure boxes? And so my strategy, you know, if I was trying to mint, which I'm not going to, we have a team allocation, but my strategy would be, I'm going to try to get as many NFTs into the same wallet, see what I can afford to pick up. You know, do your own research. We're not promising that these NFTs are, you know, are going to make your dreams come true. Just that we like these collections. We think they're forward thinking. Support them, right? But I would have as many in one wallet as possible, so that when I go to mint, and that's my chance to mint, then if one bucket empties, another bucket empties, I still have something that I can go for.
And it is, even if you have, just to reiterate, even if you have multiple collections that are partner collections, it'll be limited to 1 per wallet.
one bug per wallet. And when you connect your wallet, if you are able to mint, every NFT in that wallet becomes ineligible to mint again.
How about, so, and I'm sorry if I'm asking somewhat challenging questions, but how about, because delegation's working. I checked a hot wallet and it says eligible phase 1 and phase 2, your partner NFT and delegated vault. So I'm not encouraging this sort of activity, but I know people will attempt to do it. I might attempt to do it. Just full transparency. If I can mint from 2 wallets that are eligible, I'll probably mint from 2 wallets that are eligible. Well, if it's by way of delegation, I'm guessing that will also cancel out after, like, for instance, if I mint from another hot wallet and I take my allocation there, but there's still unused collections that I've not minted against, that it's delegated to another hot wallet, would that work? Or is it going to see, nope, this delegated wallet's already minted, it's got its full allocation?
That's a great question. I'm about to meet with the devs and I'll ask them.
Shouldn't have asked, my bad, guys.
I would assume that if a cold wallet was delegating assets to multiple wallets, that only the multiple wallets would be would be checked and ineligible.
Okay.
I don't know if it would go back. Like, I don't know if the stream would flow backwards and say, oh, well, this was delegated, so that wouldn't make sense to me. So I assume you can. But Chris, I do want to say that if you try to mint from more than one wallet, you might be frustrated. And so what I'm telling people is, you can try to game the system, and maybe you'll win. Okay. And I, like, good luck to you, sir. Right? Like, maybe you'll win. But you might outsmart yourself to the point where, like, oh, if I had all the collections in one wallet, I might have minted my max allocation of 1. But if you spread it out, by the time you're able to go in and try the second wallet and the third wallet, you like, we might be sold out. And I hear the people, I got bots. Okay. But again, if you're trying to mint from multiple wallets, you might be frustrated. So anyway, I mean, we're not going to say what we're doing, and I'll be really curious to see what, we're not saying that we're like the greatest geniuses in the history of the world and we have anti-bot software. I'm always asked, like, can you guarantee that no bots are going to come? No, I can't guarantee that no bots are going to mint. I assume bots will mint, but we're trying things and we'll see what works.
I also, apparently I don't listen well, which is maybe not be a surprise to some of you, but I was going to ask you, because I did see you checked a couple wallets eligible from what's in the wallet from partner collections, as well as another delegated wallet. So props to having delegate working. But then I see Smith Dog in the chat has a screenshot of showing which partner collections that they hold. Where do I view this, Aaron? Do you see this on the screen? The color held in your connected wallet, grayscale not held, click a held, like, yeah. How do you get to this screen here? Is that
the bugs page? You just go to the bugs page. That's he's looking at mobile.
So is it?
So yeah.
You know what? I didn't connect a wallet. I just copy pasted. So when you connect it, that's what you see.
When you connect it, that's what you see.
Okay.
I guess if you go to the page, you don't connect the wallet, everything's grayed out.
And is there? So that's there's not a list of these partner collections, but you connect any wallet, you'll see all the partner collections.
No. You see the partner collections no matter what. You go to the bugs page, and if you don't connect a wallet, you'll just see them all grayed out. Like, we've made a very, very complicated system for people, Cap, and so I apologize.
It's me. It's not you. It's me.
Complicated for you. If it's in color, then you have it. If it's not in color, then you don't have it. And honestly, we were talking about accessibility and people with colorblind issues. But I think, I don't know, if somebody's actually, we have, I don't want to say, I know somebody who's colorblind, and so I'm going to ask them, because I don't think it's totally black and white. But we want to make sure that our colorblind friends can also see it. So we'll ask about that. But that's basically what it is. It's if you see what you're showing now, is this your wallet, Cap?
Yep. One of them.
So so you have Fugs, Typical Tigers, and these are all delegated.
Mhm.
Fugs, Typical Tigers, Heavy Metal Pets, STK, Stonk Brokers, Godpull, and of course Donk Socks.
Pride and joy of my collection.
Yeah.
5+ years collecting NFTs, and that's the grails.
Did you see our Donk Socks partner
I did.
with full credit to Jed on our team, Money, for creating a Unvault logo made of Donk Socks.
Well done.
Yes. And so if you were to connect a wallet with your script kitties, and I'm not saying what you have, I'm just saying your script kitties and your alpha dogs and your dead fellas and your other Genesis, your regens, then those would show up. And the little buy button is just so that you can be sure you're going to the right page and not to a fake page, which unfortunately exists. So that's why we added the buy buttons. Mars Cat Voyage just joined the list. Lazy Bull Club, Yucky Ducks, those were the last three we added. But Brain Rot, Blaze and Glaze. I mean, if people are looking, you can see all these and just go to unvault.com and go to the bugs. I think I hate giving people links because somebody mishears you, then all of a sudden they're on some dangerous site. So go to our Unvault profile, which is on here. Click on the link to go to unvault.com. Click on the bugs, graphic, and go and check it out. And if you're somebody who got a you're part of one of the groups that we partnered with, you're not going to see like some of these groups on that screen. Like there might not be an NFT attached. That's where the wallet checker comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And you just put your wallet in. You're like, okay, great. I'm eligible for phase 1, phase 2, etc. And by the way, those eligible for phase 1 can also mint again in phase 2. I know very unfair to the people in phase 2, but
what is the difference? Just different collections. Some are in phase 1, some are in phase 2, depending on the collection, or
no. It's just a phase 1 doesn't mint out.
Gotcha.
Listen, I know what you're saying, Cap. Like, oh, it's definitely going to mint out, and listen, that would be great, right? But I think people aren't accounting for the fact that, like, the same people might be holding different collections, right? So does every bucket get
because of the limit of 1? Yeah, I hear you.
Phase 1,
I hear you.
or like 5,000 people come to the mint, but only 1,000 mints happen. I don't even know what my math is anymore, but I'm just saying that there could be buckets that are still full because people are holding duplicate collections and they can only mint 1. So if you're in phase 2, no guarantees, of course, but maybe. And when Cap, the thing that I was wondering if you're going to touch on, which we didn't even touch on, is OpenSea showing the wallet count. Did you talk about that today yet? Yeah. So, I mean, it's sort of. I've been telling people like the whole guaranteed thing, because the question I get asked a lot: Can I get guaranteed? Can I get guaranteed? I'm like, I don't like guaranteed. This whole guaranteed game is kind of baloney sauce. I was gonna say bullshit, but then I had Ernest in my head, like, don't say bullshit. So I said baloney sauce instead. It's all bullshit. Like, everybody wants a guaranteed spot, but then the collections know that a very good portion of the people that get guaranteed will not show up. And so then they over allocate. And then the people guaranteed are like, wait a second, it's guaranteed, but you're over allocating. And it's just this game where like nobody's telling the truth to each other, right? So for collections, yeah, you shouldn't be telling people that it's a guaranteed spot if it's not a guaranteed spot. Like if it's over allocated, you're kind of lying to people, right? At the same time, throw a stone and see, if I think I messed up. I was going to say glass houses, stones, but you can't swing a dead fish without hitting somebody that didn't show up to a guaranteed mint spot that they had. And just because it's a guaranteed spot for them, it's not a commitment that they have to mint.
Right.
I don't like the whole guarantee thing at all. We did it back in 2021 with whitelist because there was a gas war. And JR did it with OniForce because he didn't want people to have to spend thousands of dollars in gas. And so if you remember back in that mint, he had, I think, 2 to 3 days, and you were eligible for either day 1 or day 2 of the quote unquote pre-mint. And then he went in everybody's box and said, "Can you please mint? Can you please mint? Can you please mint?" Because he's amazing at that kind of stuff. And then I think day 3 was okay. I don't think it was public. I think it was okay. Now day 3 you can mint, or maybe it was public. But that's why we did it. We did it because we didn't want people to have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars and more than that in gas. But like you said, now it's more of a skill issue as opposed to a money issue. But people are used to it, especially coming out of a bear where you'll do anything to get the attention of a minter. Please come. We'll give you a guaranteed spot. But you can see with these numbers that it's all kind of bologna sauce. I would like everybody to start just kind of being more honest with each other. Like, we don't have to do this. Like, you want a guaranteed spot, but maybe guaranteed spots aren't great for collections because then so many people don't show up, and either the collection has to over allocate, which can frustrate people, or they run the risk of 90% of the guaranteed minters not showing up. And then you're left there through this guaranteed spot of 2 hours, 4 hours a day, whatever it is, where nobody's minting, even though you have all these people outside the gates who would like to mint. They didn't get a guaranteed spot, or they found out about your collection late. They really love your collection, but they can't mint because they're not guaranteed. Just let everybody mint, or do something like what we're doing, and we'll experiment with different things. But I think we have to move past this guaranteed spot thing. And I know when I say this that every minter hates me right now. But if you are minting stuff in this environment and and collections die, and you got a guaranteed spot and you paid for it and you minted it, and then the collection dies because everybody moved on because the thing didn't mint out because the guaranteed minters didn't show up, that's not helping you. That's not helping your wallet, right? So just let's stop it. Let's go and mint a collection. Let everybody who wants to mint, and that's going to set up collections way better. If it's a paid mint, they'll have more runway. They won't die in the vine because of this guaranteed thing. And if you're one of the people that did get to mint it, you have a chance of that collection doing something interesting, whether that's you selling it down the line or the next day, or whether that's you being part of a team that's funded that can hire people, innovate, do events, that kind of thing. So, definitely come at me, bro. Come at me, sis. I'm happy to have a debate. We have our space tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Feel free to come on and debate me. I that's my opinion. My mind can be changed, but that is my opinion. I would love to hear other people's opinions on it. But being in the trenches for the last 6 years, that's my opinion. I think we can move on from this guaranteed thing and find better ways of allowing quality people to mint. I don't mean where you come from, who you are, what you believe. I just mean you're actually going to show up and you're actually going to mint. And of course, we have mints everybody wants, and so they bought it up. There's got to be a happy medium where we can get minters that really want to be there. And I don't even mean people that want to hold forever. Like, hey, if you mint a bug and then you sell it, great. We just got a royalty stream. Thank you very much. I hope that you got a price that you love and it did something for you, for your family, even if it's $5, whatever it is. And we got a royalty stream, and we can fund the divot pool, so that bugs can eat even more.
3 questions. One from the chat. What about people that submitted their wallet in DMs and got added? Were they added to that guaranteed or a bucket? How does that, where it's not a partner collection, but rather they've had their wallet added?
Chris, you son of a bitch. I just said that we're not doing guaranteed mints, and you just asked me, are they guaranteed?
Not guaranteed. Are they? I was reading the chat. Are they getting added to like a?
I think I've told you this before, Chris, that we had a space when we were still getting like 20 people in the space. And we said, hey, we're going to do this collection called Bugs. Anybody in the space, just drop us your wallet. Because we're like, oh my God, how are we going to get people to this mint? Please drop us your wallet. Somehow the 20 people turned into 1,600 wallets. And I do think people listen to the space in recording. And then, we said, oh my God, this is not what we expected, but we're not going to break our promise. We're going to put all these people on a list. They're eligible for phase one. It is not going to be 1,600 wallets because that would mean we'd be over allocated like crazy. So there's going to be an allocation. So just like think of yourself as being in another collection, right?
Yep,
Where I
makes
said
sense.
77 God pull, they're not getting that many mints. 1,600 wallets, they're not getting that many mints. Show up on time and try to mint. You can find yourself in the wallet checker. You're eligible for phase one and you're eligible for phase two. You just need to mint it before the other people mint it. So it's somebody else that didn't submit their wallet, they are not eligible for phase one. It just from having a wallet. If you submitted, you are eligible for phase one. We've honored all those requests until we said to people, sorry, we're not taking them anymore.
Makes sense. So those that got manually added or had their wallets manually added, it's basically just like another partner collection is how they'll be treated.
Yeah, we call it the early supporter list. That's
Perfect.
what we call it.
Early supporter partners. Love it. Yeah, it is a bucket. It's another bucket. Also, we got Smoking Jay has a fix for the colorblind. He's helping the accessibility folks out there. Put a little star behind it. He shows an example in the chat. Tagged you on that.
Thanks. I like Smoking Jay. That's not a joke, by the way. I like the dude Smoking Jay, but it sounded like I said I like Smoking Jay, and that's funny.
Trying to make sure I get all the questions answered. By the way, if Diablito asks, can I get a guaranteed mint, please?
Diablito.
Funny guy asking questions of the funny man. If you do have more questions, tap into Unvault. They're on the X audio space. I've also pinned up a post up top. Aaron's doing an AMA today at 9 a.m. Pacific. That's noon Eastern.
With Mortal.
They will, if we don't get to a question or if you have further questions, tap in, shoot them a DM, join those chats. They'll have a few more spaces between now and midday as well.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. That's with one of our partners, Mortals.
Perfect.
There was a third question, Cap, and if you don't ask it, I'm going to be wondering what it was forever.
I'm trying to. I do have. I have the third question I'm holding back, so there might be a second one, but it's not coming to me right now. So before I go to my last question of the day, anything I haven't asked you that you're hoping to share today? Any other final comments, closing words? And then I do have one other unrelated question for you that I didn't get to earlier today, but some people are asking about it. So I'm going to ask you.
No, honestly, I mean, the thing that's going through my mind most of all is like, I cannot wait to launch. We have been working on this for like 2 years. And we've taken our time. We've done it right, both legally and technically. We have thrown out, full repos of coding when it didn't work for us anymore. And so this is a highly refined, polished NFT marketplace that is collection first, collector first, minter first. They're all first, together. We can't wait to show you what it is, but we're not gonna, I had a conversation with Ernest where I was like, we got a mint, we have to go to and he said, look, we have to wait to make sure it's safe. And in that moment, like, I was like, yeah, that's right. We do. We have to wait to make sure it's safe. And, look, I hope that's next week. We're ready to go. So, yeah, that's the stress ball in my chest is, I want to launch and have everybody, tell us what they think, see how easy it is. And it's coming imminently.
Exciting. Can't wait. I know I'm not the only one. And I'm mostly yes, I'm excited to mint a bug, maybe a couple. from different wallets that may or may not be operated by me.
Cap.
But I'm excited for the platform to go live. Like I really do believe, I said this in the chat earlier, like Unvault's solving some real problems in the space, like has real solutions that will benefit the existing collections, future collections, and solutions, plural. And really excited for this to go live. And I think it'll unlock another layer. So I actually have two questions for you though, unrelated. The first, did you see this ACK mint, Alpha Centauri kid? Did you see it? Were you paying attention? Did you mint any? That's first question.
I am so heads down. I have friends asking me, "Did you mint this? Did you mint this?" Man, I didn't even like turn in my clutch puppies to stockbrokers. Okay, like I got a stockbroker.
Didn't even do it.
I got one from the company, vault, but yeah, no, I had, I think I have 2 clutch puppies now. So as much as I love clutch puppies, would I've like to have 2
stockbrokers instead?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I'm not, no offense to anybody. I think there's a lot of great projects coming out, but I'm not really participating in anything right now, to my detriment. But I need to make sure that on Vault goes well. So no, I did not. But
Aaron didn't.
I'm missing a lot of stuff.
Aaron didn't burn his clutch puppy because he wants the bugs allow list, and he didn't realize stockbrokers are also going to be on the bugs list. So
exactly. I haven't minted anything, and
all good.
Okay. And by the way, we have a policy within the companies when we sign a new client up that nobody on the team is allowed to buy or sell, because we don't. While I think it's not technically illegal, we don't want people to be like, "Oh, look at these guys! They knew something was coming up and they sold." So we do have a team policy where we do not buy or sell anything, and we actually ask the collections to also not until we until we announce.
I will. Well, I would say you're not missing anything, but I think you are missing out on some stuff now for good sacrifice. You're working on some big stuff. I appreciate the head down in building.
Hopefully everybody likes the platform so much that I will be able to go out and buy all the things I missed.
There you go. I love it. It's also, it's a sign that we're in a new NFT season when people are big mad about a mint selling out. A claimed artist sells out a mint, raises a couple $1 million after years in the space. And some people, the thing that's a telltale sign to me is some artists are big time mad. That's a really bad look, by the way, if you're an artist. You don't have to like the art, but you're an artist. You should realize art is subjective. And if a fellow artist has built amazing, huge physical sculptures, they've had a live event at Carnegie Hall, they've had one-of-one pieces sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars, they've innovated new print formats, they're rewarding previous collectors, they've done multiple collaborations, including Opepin, and they drop a PFP project that sells out in minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad look if you are fudding or like an artist said, I'm part of the problem because I minted this. I supported an artist that I like. It's like, dude, what, how are I've not dropped an art collection, and I even know better. Like, it's such a poor look when it just reeks of jealousy, of envy. And again, you don't have to mint it. No one's forced you to mint anything, but to take shots at others' art because I think largely because they made money, and I'm assuming looked at some of their AI slop art that they probably haven't made a lot of money on their NFT mints, and they're jealous. Oh, I've been putting out art every day for 5 years and I haven't made 10 grand. This person's going to show up and drop a collection that's pixel art and I don't like it, and they're going to raise $3 billion. Yeah, like build a reputation first.
Yeah,
it's complaining about other artists being successful is not how you build a good reputation in this space.
The same thing happened in 2021. I was hanging out amongst the artist set before Bored Ape Yacht Club. I still love my artist friends. I think I have a meeting today with one of my artist friends, TP, who from back in the day, which I'm very excited about. But it's a look. Yes, it's a bad look, and I remember back in 2021, artists would come in and they would drop a collection without establishing any roots in the community. It wouldn't sell out, and then they would leave. And I remember people saying, oh, the community didn't support them. It was so bad. It's like they left. And I remember people saying, oh, I forgot what they were saying, but it was like should we not mint things because other artists feel bad? It's like, what are you talking about? Like, if your skin is that thin that you drop a collection and then you leave the space because it didn't sell out, okay, goodbye.
Yep. Thanks for playing.
I've been there, but what I want to say compassionately is like clearly that's the wrong move. Okay. I just feel like those artists need to continue on their journey to control their emotions, you know? And so, Chris, I'll say this to everybody, and I've said this in our spaces, and I think everybody's probably screaming and cursing at me when I say it. There is a great, great video that you can find on YouTube. It's from Cosmic Kids. I think it's Cosmic Kids Yoga, maybe. And I think it's called Be the Pond. And it is a kids video that we found during the pandemic. And I know this has nothing to do with NFTs, and I'm sorry to your audience, but I find this incredibly helpful. It's this like thing geared towards little kids, and it says, "You are a pond. You are the pond. You have fishies swimming in the pond. All those fishies are your emotions. There's a happy fish, an angry fish, a jealous fish, a joyful fish. You are not the fish, you are the pond. When the angry fish swims by, acknowledge it. Oh, there's the angry fish. Feel it, but then let it swim by because you are the pond." And I strive to be the pond. I don't always succeed. Sometimes I'm the fishy, but I strive to be the pond. And I think that in our space, especially because a lot of people are, behind keyboards, we have a lot of fishies who need to start being the pond. And the ponds can progress, can do good work, can make more friends. The fishies, you kind of stay by yourself swimming in a very small pond. So be the pond, everybody. Be the pond.
Be the pond.
Where you can go from there, huh?
Well, that's exactly what I'm thinking. You know me too well because I'm not going to go deep. I'm just going to ask you a question, and we'll probably just hang up after that because I got distracted today. A minute of gold PFP, and it flipped my mood. Maybe it was the coffee. I don't know. What? Did you get a bag yesterday?
No, I did not get a bag yesterday.
Did you attempt to?
I did attempt to.
Was it a token proof issue?
Maybe. Yeah, I think.
Scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, like flip over a table. What was your level of frustration?
I'm not at liberty to say, Cap.
Okay. Fair.
I cannot publicly talk about my feelings.
Understood. I shouldn't publicly talk about my feelings, but I did yesterday. And I'll just read the post and I'll send you off because I've seen some people that have already deleted their post because the team made it, quote unquote, made it right. They reached out, they DM'd, and hey, if you missed a bag, they're making things right. They're getting bags. I appreciate that. I appreciate the extra effort.
Let me answer the question the way that I can answer it. Okay. I think it's great for a team to experiment with new ways to reward their holders. I think there are many things to consider when you are attempting to reward your holders because you get everybody excited about it.
Exactly.
I think that a collection who is trying to reward their holders might give more information up front.
Yes.
So that there's a realistic expectation. And certainly some collections can say limited time only, while supplies last, etc. So I am all for collections trying to reward their holders. And as somebody who is putting out a big old platform, I'm sure we're going to unintentionally disappoint people or say the wrong thing from time to time. And so I try to be very compassionate with other collections and companies that try to experiment with doing things. I think that lessons can certainly be learned about for any collection how important communication is,
Yep.
and expectations and execution, and that's for any collection, and I think that's what it was. And so certainly I can see people going to a claim or a mint and walking away being very disappointed. And if that's the case, did you accomplish what you wanted to accomplish as a company, as a collection, or did you accomplish the opposite? And so I think for any collection that is trying to reward their holders, which is always a really great thing to do, just try to think about all the angles to make sure that the vast majority of your holders, whether you're a wacky squirrel or a crazy peanut or whatever you are, that all the squirrels and peanuts walk away either happy or like, you know what? I knew going in this was going to be a tough one.
Exactly. Yep. Well said. I mostly, for the most part, agree. Only thing I would add to it is, once again, communications, expectations, all very important. I shared this yesterday. I'll share it on the screen because it's already on the timeline. Was a poor experience. I quote tweeted someone who's deleted their post because the team reached out, made it right, and they were. I felt a fair critical post, or it was a post that critiqued the drop, and nothing they said was wrong. They just shared frustrations. But I said I shared concern earlier this week when I first heard about this drop, and I said that I'm going to hold my comments until after it because maybe I'm wrong. I'll give the benefit of the doubt. But my concern was this had the potential to turn a well-intentioned perk into a net negative. While I appreciate the gesture, I do fear it does more harm than good. And I'm all for limited runs when the items are a for purchase collectible. If we're buying a hat that's a limited supply, I'm cool with it being a limited supply, knowing that sometimes I'm going to get it and have a collectible that I could flip for 10x. Other times I'm not going to get it. But if every member wants a free item that's a perk, run a raffle. Like, and I get, hey, there's going to be limited raffles. There's going to be unlimited raffles. They did say this was a limited supply while supplies last. The reality is, and there's polls out there, you can see them, the majority of the community thought they were going to be able to get this. Didn't happen. So to your point, why couldn't we communicate the amount? Hey, there's going to be 500 of these. This is going to be really hard to get. Only a few of you are going to get this. Or there's going to be 1,000 of these. Not everyone's going to get one. Because while I thought there was likely going to be an issue here and would get people in a tizzy over a freaking bag, guys, I don't care about the bag. I don't. I was fortunate. I did end up getting one. After a half dozen or so failed attempts, I was able to get a bag. So for those that have reached out and offered me a bag, thank you very much. I appreciate the offer. I don't need a bag. And I'm not even disappointed in the bag or frustrated over a bag. The bag is irrelevant. I could care less about the bag. What I care about, though, is the club, the membership, the community. And what's frustrating and disappointing to me is I saw this coming. And this isn't like, I'm not the only one. Many have commented publicly and privately. We all saw this coming. We thought it was going to be a train wreck from a mile away. And that's how it played out. Every single group chat I'm in, I don't comment on all of them, but I did go look just to make sure I wasn't missing something. They were in an uproar. They were furious over something that was meant to be, it was well-intentioned. It was meant to be a perk. They were meant to do something for community members, but because of poor expectations, because of how it was communicated and the tech failures, like why they did it this way. And I know token proof sucks. I know Figgy did say that, hey, this is probably the last time they use token proof. They've been working on a Glyph solution. Glyph isn't, Spotify or Shopify hasn't accepted Glyph yet as a checkout solution, but that's where when they do, they're going to go there. So they know token proof is flawed. They know it's an over-engineered product that doesn't even solve the thing it's supposed to solve. And when you get a lot of load on the site, it fails. This isn't my first rodeo. I know how to use token proof. I've used token proof multiple times before. It's worked for me multiple times before. I checked it before the site. I was on a desktop. I logged in it. 4:59 a.m. What right with the second it went live, 9 seconds after the tweet went live, I was there. I connected, scanned the QR, and then I had to reconnect. There was no buy button, and this issued many experiences. It wasn't a user problem. I know what I'm doing. I've used it before successfully, and I eventually got it to work, but only because I had to refresh literally probably a dozen times, and finally I got lucky and it worked. That's a poor experience. And it's not the first time this has happened. Token proof sucks. Stop using it. So if we knew that was going to be a challenge, if we know it doesn't work for what it is, why rush the mint? Why rush the claim rather? Why not give it another month or however long you think it's going to take for Shopify to accept Glyph and use that, because Glyph works. But or do a raffle. We just did raffle on items that you had to buy. You had to raffle to win the opportunity to buy something, whether it was a cigar box or a jacket. You know, if you don't know, like I'm questioning who's making decisions, because everyone on that team should have known that a free item, whether it was a bag or a freaking car, it's going to be in extremely high demand. There hasn't been a lot of perks for the last few years. There hasn't been a lot of free items. I'm not expecting free items, but if you're going to give free items, you gotta execute it well. Otherwise, you're just spending money and time and resources, and you're gonna have team putting out fires for 24 hours and creating spreadsheets over a drop. Like we're going backwards instead of forward as it relates to the tech. Do a raffle. Like why make it? Because it ended up being a raffle. The raffle came down to like if you got lucky and token proof worked for you. It wasn't about being prepared. You could have been the most prepared, and you still had to get lucky that token proof worked for you.
Now, Cap, I have to say, because you mentioned, like you said, Aaron, I was speaking about wacky squirrels.
Fair, I agree. Yeah, you didn't say any of this. I'm saying this. It's not Aaron's opinion. It's my opinion and the opinion of no one else.
No, I have opinions, Cap, but you know the Spanish word nada?
Mm-hmm.
How do you spell that?
NADA.
Now, what happens if you take out the first A?
NDA. Fair.
I can't. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not trying to be overcritical. Again, I don't freaking care about a bag. I care about a club. I care about my friends, and it's as a member, as an outsider, like it's very obvious that you don't want to do something that's nice and is a free perk and well-intentioned that ends up in an uproar, and you alienate or you upset a large group of the people you're trying to do something nice for. Like it backfires. Like no one was asking for a free bag. Like there was no rush to get this free bag claimed. Wait until you're ready, or do a raffle. Like why are we not doing on-chain raffles? I don't get it. You've got the technology. That's far more. And are there still going to be people upset if they don't hit the raffle? Sure, but at least they understand. At least that the expectation is set that hey, there's 500 of these things. There's 5,000 wallets are going for it. I've got a 1 in 10 chance of hitting this. I'm probably not going to get it. Versus the way it was announced, the expectation of I didn't have this expectation because I've seen this play out before. It's not our first rodeo, but a lot of the community had the expectation that they were going to get this thing, and that everyone as long as you're there around 5 o'clock, you shouldn't have any problem getting this. That just wasn't the case. I don't. Maybe it was botted because again, token proof is flawed technology. It's over-engineered, and it doesn't even solve the problem it's supposed to solve. There's still backdoors. There's still ways to go get in to buy, whether it's the bag or a hoodie that's supposed to be token gated. It just doesn't work. So stop.
You know,
why did we even attempt to do this? Is my question.
We have a rewards distribution system, by the way, called the Divot, and anybody can contact us in how to give it out. Yes, the Divot is mostly used to distribute payment, for collectors who are engaged in marketing. It's simpler than that, but that's how it's legally, put out. But it can be for anything. It could be for RWA distribution. It could be for anything. So, wacky squirrels, if you're listening, our DMs are always open. Cap, I gotta go.
Hey, appreciate your time. Thanks as always. Tune into go give the Unvault account a follow. Go give Aaron some love. Get your wacky squirrels collected so you can participate in this Bugs Mint. And always a pleasure. I'm sure we'll talk to you before. Probably pop on your space tomorrow, but if not, we'll see you next Wednesday for sure.
All right, my friend. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Achilles says we're using Glyph. We can keep using Glyph. Yes, I agree. They can't use Glyph for Shopify. The Bored Ape Yacht Club site is powered by Shopify. Glyph is not, except they're working with Shopify to get that approved, but it's not ready yet. So I understand why they didn't use Glyph yet. I don't understand why they attempted to use token proof again on something we've had these issues before. We could have assumed that it was going to create issues again on an extremely in-demand claim. And I just don't understand why not do a raffle, because that's what it was. It was just like the luck of, is the tech going to work for you or not? So I think it'd be much more better received if it was just a transparent on-chain raffle. Use the tech, everyone can see, and they either hit the raffle or they don't. If they don't, tough luck. Like it's not entitlement. It's not whining or complaining. I care about the club. I care about the momentum and the sentiment. Things are popping off right now. On-chain activity is exciting. We got Ape Fest around the corner. It disappoints me that the topic of the 87 group chats I'm in over the last 12 hours has been frustration and disappointment and anger over a freaking bag. It's silly, but we should know this by now. This isn't some novel startup. This isn't some novel attempt at a first time ever doing a gated drop. And unfortunately, this has been an issue many times. And so, yeah, I'm not deleting my post. It was a poor experience. That's fact. Go survey everyone that attempted, even those that got the bag. A few people said, oh, it was smooth. The tech worked perfectly. Awesome. But like 5 to 10% of people having the experience intended is not good. And we can get upset when people share feedback, or we can, we dropped the ball here and own it. And they are making it right. They're trying to get bags to those that are members and wanted it. It just seems that's going to create, I would think, more issues unless there's more of supply than we're realizing. It's just, to me, it was execution matters, communication matters. And because it's been a pretty long time between the last perk or utility for holding this asset, expectations like mounts. And it's not just the free stuff, it's stuff, communication. Like, we haven't got a Clubhouse update since last Ape Fest, unless you believe the third-party rumors that are swirling online that a lease was just signed last month for a property that went on the market in February. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm guessing it'll get announced at Ape Fest. But it also puts so much pressure on the Ape Fest announcements. They got to thread a needle. Like, everything has to land perfectly because we're all like champing at the bit for some sort of update or what's going on. I know they have their space that they decided to go live at the same time as this show for some reason, unbeknownst to me. And I've shared my feelings with the team about that as well. And they can host space whenever they want. It doesn't seem like a good business decision. Not just because they're losing earned equity as far as earned media with me, but the market's hot. Like, people are in the morning, they're looking at trading shows. They're looking at either tuned in here. And this is like, I can say this fact, like our show's getting more, they've got 1 million followers and we average more listeners here than they do on their at the Clubhouse space. What are you doing? And it's not just me. You also are going at the same time as Easy and Thread Guy. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. And so my frustration is mounting because I question like the decisions. Execution on this claim was bad. It's like, why are we making some of these decisions? It doesn't have to be this hard. Communications are important. Words matter, especially when you're trying to do something nice. And I appreciate the gesture. They are talking more free stuff. I hope it's distributed in a better way. Hand it out at Ape Fest. Yeah, avoid this. It's also, and again, it's small. I don't really care, but words matter. Tell people that they're going to be responsible for shipping. I didn't see many people complaining in shipping, but I think I paid $20, $17, something like that. International people were paying like $35. If this was if this was like a Web2 brand, like I don't think you can do that. I think you have to say, at least the fine print, shipping and handling is on you. I don't think you're supposed to say something's free and then, oh, by the way, when you're checking out, during this frenzy of shit, the tech's not working, oh, by the way, you're going to have to pay for shipping. Understandable. I don't mind paying shipping. Just communicate that. This is like 101 retail stuff. And maybe I'm being too harsh, maybe I'm too critical, but I have expectations of a brand I love and have been taking arrows for over 5 years. It's a multi-billion-dollar brand. Like, this isn't our first rodeo. Like, this stuff is literally 101. And again, I don't care about a bag. I don't care about shipping, but people do. I care about the community. I care about the like, there was a comment made recently. It's not, we're not doing things to drive the floor price up. Rather, we want to maintain. We don't want it to go down. We don't want to lose members. Well, guess what? Go look at the listings now. So there's some OGs that they felt a certain way. Maybe it was completely unrelated. So maybe it was purely coincidental. They just decided last night to list apes that they'd held for a long time. But it's like, this stuff, it's just, I don't know. It's disappointing that we're still having some of these conversations in 2026, and you have an extremely loyal fan base. You have brand ambassadors. It doesn't take much to keep them happy. And I don't want, like, somebody to say, oh, well, they should just go back to doing nothing, just become punks and don't. Look, this is a utility collection. Like, that's not going to work either. Because some people buy for access to Ape Fest. Some people buy for access to Clubhouse. Some people buy for occasional perks like this on whether it's a free bag or the right to purchase something. I think it's okay to have expectations. Like, if this was any Web2 brand, I had this experience, I'd be sharing the same thing. It's unacceptable. Be better. And if that ruffles feathers and hurts some feelings, I don't care. It shouldn't. Like, we're running businesses here. Like, you've got thousands of vested stakeholders that care about this brand. Otherwise, they wouldn't be such demand for a free claim. They wouldn't be sharing their frustrations and concern on the timeline. I'm going to end my rant, but I share because I care. If I didn't, and here's my bigger concern, and I'm not going to name names. This is the bigger concern. Like, be grateful that there's frustration. Be grateful that people felt a certain way about this and are sharing on the timeline. Because far worse than sharing frustration is apathy. That's where we're heading if these small unforced errors, I saw someone call it a fumble and like, hey, let's simmer down, we're fixing it. And it was a fumble. It wasn't like, I don't think anyone could look at me and keep a straight face, say this was a flawless launch or a flawless claim. There was fumbles. Is it a big deal? No, we're all going to move on. In a week from now, no one's going to be talking about it until someone sells a bag for $750 and then someone else is going to get pissed off. I'm not going to share who. Private message. I'm just apathetic to it. I got pissed off for years, and it's just sort of what I expect at this point. I've lowered my bar, which is sad, but it's just where I'm at. I'm approaching apathy too. That sucks. That's what you want people to share their frustrations when something goes wrong. You don't want them to just stop caring. And that's my bigger concern, is people who've been like loyal supporters for years are now like, whatever, it's no big deal. Like, of course this was going to happen. It always does. That sucks. It's supposed to be like exclusive club, and you're trying to do something nice. Like, and again, I'm not perfect. I get things wrong all the time. I have hot takes that go cold. I have cold takes that go hot. But if you were here on the show, I think it was Monday. I don't know. Maybe I don't remember what day it was. But I bit my tongue because I was like, man, this is like, in my head, I'm thinking this is not going to go well. And others have shared the same. Like, yeah, we saw this train wreck of a free claim that's well-intentioned, supposed to be a nice thing. We saw these issues from a mile away. It's like I bit my tongue because I wanted to give the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to give grace, and maybe I was wrong. I was hoping I would be wrong, but this is like played out almost exactly as I thought it would because of how things were communicated and the issues we've had with the tech in the past. Gangsta Geek, take it you don't have to comment on this. If you want to, you're welcome to, but take it whichever direction you'd like.
Well, I do not hold an ape. I'm not as in the ecosystem as I probably should be, so I'm not going to try to, jump in and comment on that. And I do apologize. I did join later today, so I don't know if you talked about this earlier. But in regards to football, I had a question a couple days ago, but I never had the chance to ask it. When you're playing fantasy American football, are you playing in leagues or are you playing in sites that do PPR or no PPR?
Both. Usually full PPR,
Okay.
half PPR.
Okay, gotcha. Because I saw you were talking about some like wide receiver twos over some RB ones, and I was like, okay, if he's saying, get the receivers, it must be because it's a PPR league or something like that.
Yeah, and if you're talking Spoiled Banana Society, I've done a few more drafts since. We shouldn't be drafting I don't think any wide receiver twos. Maybe it's contrarian, but like the last few I've done either 4 running back 1 and 3 wide receiver ones, or vice versa. Even if you take an elite tight end early, you can still do 3 and 3, and then add a third tight end instead of a wide receiver 2. So specific to Spoiled Banana Society, I would avoid the wide receiver 2s and the running back 2s and just stick with wide receiver 1s, running back 1s, and then fill out your lineup with tight ends, quarterbacks, and defenses.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, that's really what I wanted to talk about. I think it was yesterday, but I just didn't have the chance to join and ask at that time. But I will say one thing, though. I remember in 2021 sitting on a subway, like sitting in a train on subway, underground railroad, basically, in Korea, looking at my phone at like 7:30 a.m. because I had like an hour commute to work. And I was just amazed that people were making so much money with these, at the time, the joke was like, hey, they're just trading these JPEGs. And I remember seeing Bored Apes pop up on the timeline. I actually remember going to, I think it was like 7:30 in the morning. I remember going to, on my phone, the mint page for, what was it? It was like the Cuphead style, like Betty Boop style art, but walking, Imaginary Friends or something like that, or Invisible Friends. That was it, Invisible Friends. And just as someone who was just then learning about crypto and Web3, I thought, okay, this is astounding and somewhat insane that, it's going to cost like $500 mint price, or like $500 mint plus gas fees in 2021 to be able to mint this. I'm going to go ahead and pass on it right now. And then a few hours later, or mint's over, it's, done, it's all minted out. I check back again and the NFT's sitting at like $15,000. And immediately I'm like, okay, it's very clear, that this is the ecosystem that is the way of the future. Fast forward 5 years now, it's pretty safe to say that apes have been the king of the NFT Web3 cycle for the past 5 years. I mean, you can argue, Punks has a higher floor price or whatever, but that wasn't minted in 2021. And it's just, kind of just static there, a relic. It's like owning a cave painting, essentially. It's just like, oh, this is one of the first pieces of human art on chain or whatever. Whereas apes have this reputation of, no, we kind of started this run. Like, we brought NFTs to the forefront of society in general. So I hear your frustrations. I hear, your complaints, and I know it's been a hard road for 5 years. But for anyone listening, if you're probably going to put your trust in anyone or bet on someone to capitalize on the future or the next 5 years of NFTs, apes is probably a good bet.
Maybe. We'll find out from 10 years from now. If they've got a lot going for them. I'm really excited for the clubhouse. I'm looking forward to Ape Fest. But if things don't get better, like I don't know if they're the best bet for 5 years from now. And it's not just about financial rewards or free stuff, but if you're going to buy an asset that's 5 figures to get access to something, it's okay to have, like, I think the expectations are proper, like, to communication. What's going on? Why do I hold this thing? There was a lot of back and forth between apes. And I like mutants are apes. Yes, mutants are apes. That's been very clear. What's also been clear throughout history is that apes get priority over mutants when it comes to different allocation and raffles and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not saying I don't have all the answers, but I'll throw out an idea. Next time you have a claim like this, do a raffle. Apes get 2 entries, mutants get 1 entry. It's not even 5 to 6 or 6 to 1 like the floor price. It's just there's a little bit of a premium for rewarding your top tier of apes, because mutants are apes too, but it is different. They've been treated differently in the past. Do the raffle and is everyone going to be happy? No, but I can almost guarantee you'd have far less people upset and frustrated and people talking about it on the timeline if they lost a raffle versus thinking they were going to go get something and having tech failed half a dozen times and then not getting what they wanted. It's just, again, I share because I truly care. And I think this stuff is easy fixes. And I know they're busy. I know they're working on a lot of stuff. Maybe that's part of the challenge. Like we used to have it wasn't called a membership director, but we used to have a director of the club, and that we don't anymore. Like the last 2 have not been backfilled. Jeff originally, then Dave, and maybe it's not the right role. Maybe there's other things they should be doing, but Figgy is busy. James is doing an incredible job with Other Side. Who's leading the club? It's a genuine question. I don't know. I mean, Figgy, but I don't expect him to do everything. Like for what James is to Other Side, who is that to the club? I truly don't know. We can make guesses, but I don't believe it's been communicated. I don't, there's other people on the team that have been there for a while that support the club, but they were there when Jeff was there. They're there when Dave was there. And unless I missed it, I didn't get promoted. Maybe I missed it at the clubhouse space. I don't know. But like this stuff it's the unforced errors, the avoidable mistakes and frustrations. It feels like lately, it's not just the free stuff. It's the free stuff, the limited stuff. I like the limited stuff when we're buying it, but it's led to a lot of frustrations lately. And when it happens time and time again, more people think like what I said, that, okay, I'm just apathetic to it now. That's just my expectations. We're going to expect that each activation is going to lead to frustrations, disappointment, and all of our group chats in an uproar. Like that's not good. Again, I'm sharing because I truly care. And I think this stuff can be fixed. I think it can be better. And the other thing that I think is a problem is, hey, not everyone needs to talk publicly on the timeline. It's my job. It's what I do for a living, is I share commentary on this space. And because I do my best to not be biased, I know I am, but I hope I have the right to share feedback because I am a holder. I'm not just some third-party outsider complaining or fudding. I'm not fudding. But I also, because of this little platform I have, maybe because I do share my candid feelings on the space collections, even those that I love, I'm going to talk more about them than the ones I don't care about. There's a lot of people that feel like a lot of people didn't share on the timeline. They need to hear the feedback. Otherwise, how are they going to get better? And so many people, like, it's also caused infighting amongst the club now. You got club members, not even mutants versus apes, but people are sharing their frustrations. They didn't get it. And other people, you're stupid. This is just it was a free bag. Don't get bent out of shape. Don't FUD my bags. What? Like it's a problem. It takes away the fun. It takes what was a well-intentioned fun activation. Red Goat Queen says it well. Molly says it's impossible to give free items to an entire community, even when we wish it to. But there are ways to gamify. There's ways to build up rules to reward people. The whole drop felt rushed, and unfortunately, what could have been a cool item is now overshadowed by how poor the claim went. That's real. Like it's like it tarnished something that should be awesome. It should be cool. It should be a fun perk, and it's now tarnished because of how the execution went and the communications around it. And I don't take issue if someone's going to share their hey, this was my experience. This was frustrating. That's okay. How are we going to get better? Because there's a lot of this happens in group chats in private messages, but because people are afraid of backlash, people like Aaron, different reasons, because he's building a protocol. He's may or may not be under NDA, and he's a professional. I don't have any NDA right now. Not with them anyways. There's another one I to be determined if things get resolved. That was another curveball I'm going to keep to myself. But completely unrelated. But there's other people that don't have NDAs. They're afraid to speak out. They're afraid to share their real feelings because they don't want to be like excommunicated from the community. That's happened. I'm not saying it was current leadership, but people definitely got excommunicated for speaking out and sharing their frustrations, whether it be on the timeline or in private. That's not good. It's going to hold people back. Another simple solution, if not a raffle, like any more swag this year, between now and October at least, just hand it out at Ape Fest in person. You avoid all this. They don't have to pay for shipping. They don't have to deal with the logistics. You just bring all your stuff there and give it. And so, oh, what about people who don't make Ape Fest? Well, it's already limited anyways. Every member wasn't going to get one, so reward the people who came to your once a year event. And they probably will. There'll probably be stuff there, but it's like, again, this seemed to me, it felt rushed. I don't understand why it was rushed. And I don't care about the bag. I care about my upset friends. Some of you think I got a bag. I'm not upset. I'm disappointed. And I think we can be better. I hope it's not taken out of context. GM Frosties. Frosties came in for the rant at the end. Yeah, like Ape Fest is 2 months away. We didn't even know the bags were coming. In hindsight, it's easy. I know it's easy for me to Monday morning quarterback, but yeah, take 1,000 bags to Ape Fest, give them away to attendees, and everyone's happy. You get more people to come to Ape Fest next year. Thanks for tuning in today. Appreciate it. By the way, for those keeping score at home, the Argonauts floor is back up to 0.144, so it's above mint price. And 2 hours and 16 minutes ago, that minted already 436 ETH in volume. Welcome to NFT Season 3. Things are about to get exciting. Congratulations to ACK and everyone who was able to get that mint. Whether you flip or hold, you had a chance to take profits. So we will give you that. Maybe it becomes more, maybe it becomes less, but good chat today. Appreciate everybody who joined us on stage. Shout out again to Cab and Andrew for joining us. Speaking of keeping score at home, it's now 1.1 million in the Hebrew presale. That puts the implied FTV at 22 million, and it's still a 20% bonus. Keep in mind that goes down literally for the next 9 hours and 42 minutes. But yeah, this thing, forget 1 million, 2 million is now in range. The sights are set. All right, I gotta run. I'm running long, and I can't keep doing these marathon shows because I need to get a coffee break in here. Anyways, have a great day today. We'll be back tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time. The reminder link is pinned up top. There's also Unvault up there. My victory lap on minting that gold Agronaut. The Muse Factory site is up there. The Unvault, make sure you're following the official Unvault account if you're going to check that out. The Hebrew link is also up top, as well as our reminders for the shows for the rest of the week. And if you wanted to hear more from Cab and Andrew, you can find us on Apple, the podcast, any of the podcast channels. And then you can also hit the reminder link. It's the recording is just here on Space. If you prefer to just listen to the Space, you can click that via the reminder links above. Smash those reminders for Thursday, Friday. If you're still over on YouTube, hit that like and subscribe before you head out of here. And appreciate y'all once again. Shout out to our Abstract family. Appreciate the tips over there from B Epic and Hans. Greatly appreciated. And we'll see y'all tomorrow at 8 a.m. Until then, have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone.